So I know everybody's wondering
What?
what we talking about this time.
Oh goodness.
Oh my god.
We talking about Invincible season 3.
Hey, fuck that. I've been neck bleeding to talk about this.
So it's not season 4. It's only season 3. Okay.
Yeah,
This is
you
what
put
season
four?
3?
I thought. I mean, I don't know. I'm losing count. But all
Was
right.
this season 3?
Yeah, season 3.
Oh, okay.
You say you've been neck bleeding.
Yeah, so you already know what my.
Oh
I mean, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, that's some stuff.
That's my rating.
Already, we have
Oh, man.
introduced ourselves yet.
Yes.
Yep.
Who are we?
And what is a neck bleed?
Well, let's introduce ourselves real quick. That guy with the bleeding neck is Marcus, aka 730.
Hi.
There's Jason, aka Smiley,
Hey, what up, though?
and I'm Josh, aka Prop Josh. Yo.
Ugh, you changed your voice.
Alter ego.
Change
Well, everybody
your-
get to
Prop
say
and
something.
Josh are two different people.
Hello, I'm Prop. And I'm Josh.
Josh. Oh shit.
Oh man.
Yeah, man. You know, before the last thing me and Josh talked about was I'ma know when you watch it,
Oh, okay.
and that night I forgot what I text y'all. Josh texts back, man, what an onslaught.
Yup.
Man.
Yep.
So,
So yeah, we're
let's
gonna
talk
talk about
about-
this whole season. So
yes. This is like one of the few shows we do a review for every season, I think. Did we do a review for the first season? I know we did a review for the second
I'm
season.
sure we did.
yeah.
Oh, well, maybe I don't know. We
thought we
did.
did.
We got how many episodes?
201.
Is this 201 or
This is
202?
202.
This is 202.
Oh shit, 202 for UOU, whatever that means.
So, what are your thoughts on the previous season, real quick, of season 2 of
You can listen to
Invincible?
it. Listen to episode.
I mean, we're not going to go into detail, but just what you remembered about it.
for those that just joined
The
us.
last
welcome.
of season 2. Season 2 was when his dad, when he procreated and had a
Right, he
whole
lived-
brother,
had a
with
whole family,
a
on
whole
that planet.
other son on another roach planet.
Yeah, little purple baby.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mom
that was
like a
really cool
purple
to see.
mantis kind of thing.
Yeah, they had a whole lifespan because they live. They live.
Their lifespan
quicker.
is shorter.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
But they
it'll be interesting to
mature
see.
at the rate of their short lifespans. Weird.
Yeah, and at the end we had where Invincible faced a Viltrumite woman.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she beat his ass
She
pretty
beat
quickly.
his ass though.
Yeah.
And then after that, right after that, is when he faced. I think the guy's name is Nystrom.
Sterling.
Well, yeah, Sterling K. Brown.
Nystrom Levy. Angstrom Levy.
Angstrom Levy. That's his
Angstrom
name.
Levy. Also known as Sterling K. Brown. That's what we just call him by his full name.
Or Levy be easier to say that.
Levy.
Yeah. And he was traveling through different dimensions and stuff.
Yeah,
while
that
he
was
fighting
intense
them.
ending. They did wrap that up well. That season showed multiverses from the beginning. So, but that threw me off a little bit. So it took a little bit longer for me to get into it.
It was disorienting.
Yeah, so I didn't really like watch it each week. I think I watched it when it first came out, and then after the first episode, I was like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know where they're going with this, and so then I just slowly got into it, and then like after it all released, then I just finished it up, and so, yeah, it wasn't like I have to watch each week for me. The last season, but it was definitely entertaining, and so of course it was good.
I
Didn't
guess it's
they have
fair-
this? Didn't they have the Comic-Con episode on last season?
Yeah, they had the
Oh
Comic-Con
yeah, that was
episode.
one of my favorites. Yeah, when they explained how people be cutting corners in
Yeah,
animation.
that was funny. That was great. I love that.
Because the funny thing about it was that episode wasn't animated that great, but like
Yeah, on purpose.
right, yeah, on purpose and everything. But then, like once you got to the dimensional episode, it was animated better. So
Yeah.
you can see that they kind of changed that around.
Right.
I was gonna say, so you could probably say that season 2 might have been the weakest season out of all the 3 seasons.
Of the 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the first season, got your attention immediately. So it's like hands down. And then the season finale is a meme that
I mean, season finale might be the best episode. In my
of the
opinion.
season finale of
the first
season 1.
season. Yeah. I think that might be the best episode of the series.
Y'all think that's the best episode?
I mean, it's
I
pretty
think so.
intense. It's a meme. It's intense.
When the show ends, I'm gonna have to put together my top 5 favorite episodes because so far I have like 3 of them, and I would say 2 of them from this season.
Okay, top 5. Yeah,
yeah.
I asked myself that question on the last like 4 episodes of this season. I was like, is this the best episode? Is this my favorite episode?
Yeah.
Because like, does the best, like, y'all saying the best episode was the last episode of season 1. I would say it's the most intense episode, but I'm not sure if I would call it the best episode, or at least it won't be my favorite. Then I started asking myself, does the best equate to your favorite? Or like the best episode and your favorite could be 2 different episodes?
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah. I don't know, man, because the season finale of season 1, everyone talks about that episode. It was such a big
It's
episode.
definitely the standout episode that sets the tone, the overall tone for the stakes of the show.
Yeah.
The end of the first episode of the first season,
oh yeah,
to me is one of the best episodes,
because it's like you think
it's like
you following the hero and you're thinking,
and it's animated like a
I didn't know
kind of
right.
Saturday
like I'm thinking
morning.
I didn't like I read Image comics, but I never read Invincible. Of course, I know Spawn, and so I know it can get crazy. But like, I was not ready. And like they just straight showed it, and this season definitely shows you that's the thing, like they let you know in the first episode but not until the very end, because at all the other stuff is like, oh, it's heroic, he's training his son, it's like, okay, he's got his powers, it's a teenager and he's dealing with things, and then snap,
anybody's disposable. Anybody's disposable.
Like we just followed all these characters and now they're all dead by the main character. What in the world?
Well, that's what I'm saying. That will be one of my top 5 episodes as well.
Yeah, the first episode.
To me, I think that's one of the best episodes. Yeah, but I mean, I do agree. The last episode of season 1 is one of the best episodes. But I asked myself several times during this season, like, did they top that? And we'll get to it later. There's a moment.
There's
where
a couple things. There's a couple things that I'm like, I didn't know they were going to go that far. Even though they go that far, I still be like, I didn't know they were going to go that far. And then it's like, are they going to go that far? And it's like, oh, maybe they did. So yeah, they kept you.
It kept you on your toes.
The stakes is high.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I feel like episode 1, season 1 set the overall tone of this show, which is stay on your toes. Nobody's safe. And then the last episode of season 1 is like, nah, for real, nobody's safe. Like the stakes is
the entire planet.
Nobody's safe.
Not even Invincible.
Yeah, right. Well, he has a very ironic name because he gets his holy ass kicked and he never dies.
No, yeah.
That's why. Yeah, it's weird. Just because you're invincible don't mean...
He's kind of like Kick-Ass with powers.
Yeah, he's exactly like that. That's what it definitely feels like.
Because Kick-Ass be getting his ass kicked. But he's very resilient. You know? Like the Punisher or somebody that's... this character overall has those qualities. So that's my thoughts about previous season.
That was we didn't even hardly talk about the second season though, because it was the weakest one.
I think the second season served the purpose though. It ended up being the weakest season.
Yeah.
But it was still a good season.
Yeah, I mean you got the
But
multiverse.
it was a lot of setup for
Yeah,
what we finna talk about.
it was a lot of setup because one of the things I said to Marcus like a few days ago, we were talking about how, well, actually it was like a week ago or so, about how they didn't kill off any main characters in the second season.
You literally just said that shit.
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, no, because like they kind of pulled the rug from under you, kind of thing. Like they kind of tricked you. Like you thought that we lost a few characters. You know, we thought we lost like 3 characters. Shriek Ray and,
yeah.
and
That's
what's her
right.
head? Kate. What's her name? Kate.
Duplicate.
Duplicate. Yeah, duplicate.
And fucking
Rex.
Rex. Yeah.
Yeah, Rex was. Yeah, he was shot.
I
in the
can't
head.
believe you shot me in that.
And then they all end up being alive because we really thought all of them were dead. Like, oh man, that was a
all
big
of them
episode.
were still alive.
Yeah, they all came back at the end of the season.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, then we didn't lose any main characters. Now it came close with Amber when that that Viltrumite woman grabbed Amber's neck. I was like, ooh.
Yeah, I thought she was.
I thought she was gone.
Yeah, I didn't think she was.
I was like, expected it.
Yeah,
but nothing happened to her either. So we didn't lose any main characters.
Yeah,
didn't
and
realize
she's
that.
Still not safe.
Mm-hmm. You still don't know. That's the thing. Like they can
still
save
just
you,
don't know,
and you just don't know. So
that's what's the beauty about this show. That's why I like it because, like, you know, when you're watching superhero shows, especially the ones that came on Saturday morning cartoons, it's like, well, the main characters
know
are
they're
fine.
gonna be fine.
Yeah. Everybody's gonna be fine no matter what. This show's
they're
like,
gonna
nope,
make it. You just want to see
know.
how. With this one, it's like, no, like my favorite character could get killed. And sometimes that happens,
right? Because it's Robert Kirkman making this because that's what he
Robert
did.
Kirkman, he's a sick bastard.
Yeah, that's what he did with Walking Dead.
With Glenn,
you never knew. At the beginning, you never knew if your favorite character was going to die or
you
not.
didn't know until it was over. And so,
yeah.
So yeah, so we enter in things to note, things to be aware of as we enter into the third season. Of course, is there's a little son. That is
what's his name? Omari.
Oliver.
Yeah.
Oliver is half whatever.
Half Jamaican.
half Viltrumite.
Yeah.
And so, and then Omni-Man is captured and in prison, kind of. And then
he's in a Viltrumite prison.
Yeah, he's in a Viltrumite prison in space. Yeah, it's considered
and
like, yeah.
Alan allowed himself to get captured.
Right. Yeah. He leveled up on the second season.
Oh
too.
yeah,
Like,
Alan the fucking
that was pretty dope.
Yeah. he leveled up to the point
because that was another character that you thought died that
leveled
that ended up level because he literally got basically killed.
Yeah, that's right. He did, yeah.
And so then he just kind of leveled up because that was his thing, and now he's pretty much invincible.
That's right, because Optimus Prime. Optimus Prime saved him.
That's basically what happened.
Yeah, Optimus Prime, the Viltrumite, the only other Viltrumite to switch over to the good side.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that helped him to become super powerful. So that's something that
and they made it look like he was poisoning him or something.
Yeah.
His healing process.
Because we're like, what is he doing? Why is he up here? Like, okay. So, but he didn't die. So those are things to note. And I think, are we ready?
Well, also, Mark killed.
Yeah.
He killed.
Oh, I thought you would get my attention.
No, that's gonna be. All right, I'm gonna say
yes. Hi, Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Invincible killed Angstrom.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got some guilt over him for that.
He beat his brains out.
Yes,
he beat his 5 times the size of human brains out.
Yeah. Yep. And he was on another dimension planet while he
where nobody could stop him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like, I think you mentioned it, Josh, that it was kind of a cheat for him to just like show up at the end, and it's like they saved him, seeing he had to deal with the
Some of where his
Yeah,
homie showed up.
like
the
almost immediately. He
the
was
yeah,
like walking around
immediately
for like a
another
day.
dimension time
Yeah.
travel people came and got him. It's like, oh yeah, well, your other person
Conveniently.
said that you've been stuck here for 20, 30 years, and so he was stuck there for 20, 30 years, so we decided to find you at the exact moment, in the exact time, in the exact dimension, and make sure you get back safely. Check. So that was
But
definitely a cheat.
future Adam Eve told him, like, she was like, Eve loves you. Make sure you tell her.
Yeah. That was
Yeah, that was weird.
that was weird, but I
It's weird
accepted it.
behavior.
Well, she was lonely all that time. She was like in her
I mean, that's a
in
long
her
time.
early 40s at that
Yeah,
point.
that's a long time.
So she was very old. When you're in your early 40s, you're very, very old. You saw how
calm
wrinkly
down.
and old she looked.
Was it 20 years? feel
I
like
think it was.
more.
Yeah,
Oh,
I saw a
okay.
video that said that she was like in her 40s. I think the characters on the show said that like she was old. She was like in her 40s.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
come on, man.
Yep. Is there somebody that you loved 20 years ago, Josh, that you just never got a chance
There's
to
quite
do?
a few. There's quite a few.
Few that got away.
Go back and tell them.
20 years ago for us, we were in college.
Well, they are.
Yes.
The characters are in college.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, they are in college now.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
they're that age.
Mhm.
But the actors are in their 40s.
Right.
That's true. The actors are our age. They're playing college students. So,
Right.
yeah. Which works. It works.
All right. Well, we're going to spoil this thing. So, spoiler warning. We're going to we're going to go by each episode. We usually, whenever we talk about TV shows, we go through the characters and their journey through the show. But this time, we're going to go by the episodes, because each episode is very unique on its own. It's almost like a standalone episode each time, but still part of a bigger story.
Right.
And I think we can go through the first 4 episodes pretty quickly, because there's just a couple of major points from the first few episodes. But those last few are
The last
definitely
4. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's 8.
maybe,
Yeah, the last 4
yeah.
episodes, man.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. That whole second half of the season gets crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very aroused. You ready?
Oh man.
So episode 1, titled "You're Not Laughing Now," because the titles of episodes are always like dialogue taken
Taken
from
out of dialogue, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's good.
They've been doing
I
this
love-
since the first season.
They do that, and I love the way they intro it, and they always randomly have an ending.
I love that.
It's false ending.
Every time I see that, Jason, I think about that's something you would do for some reason. Like if you had a show, I feel like that's how you would do your intro.
I like it.
'Cause he just puts it in like pause. They'll put the title screen on with somebody's talking, saying the word "invincible," and then you never hear them say it, but then it'll
Just see
flash on the screen.
Mhm. Yeah, I love that. It's pretty creative.
And each season did it differently.
Yeah, one is
Mhm.
like dripping with blood each.
Yeah,
thing.
it just gets blood every time. And then season 2, it was like cracking.
Mhm.
Like the title screen was cracking. And I think season 3, this was more like
It
a
just
lightning type
flashes.
thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like epileptic
Yep.
light strobe.
Mm-hmm. So what's episode 1 about, Josh?
So episode 1, well, we see that Oliver is not a baby. He's already a kid. Invincible is training with Cecil and them. They're making him stronger. Like he's lifting up heavy things and stuff. Mark is trying to decide if he should date Eve or something like that. He wants to ask out Eve, and he does, but then he mentions that older her told him to ask her out.
Yeah,
so that
yeah, he
pisses her
fucked
off.
up. Yeah, pissed her
that
off.
which was stupid of him. But the main thing that happened was like this guy takes over and captures all the heroes in America and has them all captured. And Eve and Invincible try to stop him, but they can't. So they get captured. And so Cecil sends Darkwing.
Oh, that was the first episode. Okay.
Yeah. So he sends Darkwing and like the these machine creature guys that were on the first season to save them. And Invincible gets pissed off, even though Darkwing saved them or whatever.
Saves them, right?
Yeah, because he was like, well, he was a villain. He was a villain. Oh, but before that, they fought Kate's brother. What's his name? Multi-Paul?
Multi-Paul.
Yeah, Paul.
Duplicate and Multi-Paul.
Yeah. Because I remember Invincible beating him.
They
just
just
now
have
getting
the
it.
same exact powers.
I just
right?
now get it.
Yeah.
Multiple.
Yeah. Multi-Paul.
Yeah, Multi-Paul. Duplicate.
I get duplicate, but I didn't
But
get
Multi-Paul, yeah. Because I remember Invincible saying that he needs to go to jail, even though it's like, but he didn't mean to, or whatever. Like, no, he needs to be in jail. He almost killed Rex.
Yeah, he definitely was very angry.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was.
I was like,
calm
man,
down.
calm down. You need a girlfriend.
Hey, there's a chick you should hook up with. She's got the same power as you. Oh, wait a minute. That's your sister.
Duplicate.
Awkward. But yeah, I don't know why he's so pissed off starting off this season.
You talking about Invincible?
Yeah. Why he's all like,
because he's a teenager. One, his dad. He probably feels like he's a teenager one with superpowers. So he's already feeling like he don't quite fit in which teenagers normally don't feel like they fit in anyway. Right. Then you amplify that with having superpowers. And then you add on top that you have an abusive runaway dad who done started a whole nother family, had a whole nother kid with somebody else.
That's
a whole
a lot.
nother, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right. Not only did he beat you half to death,
he
destroyed a lot of the planet,
and a lot of innocent people.
A lot of innocent people died, and he then started his whole other little family.
And want to act all sweet and tender with him.
Right. It was like, wait a minute.
I know.
Like, what the fuck is this? And then you want to act like the shit ain't happened. When I see you, when I do see you, you gonna call me up and try to act like we supposed to be cool. Like, what the fuck? Like, I'll be pissed off too.
Yeah.
So I understand why he's
because that's realistic. And you see his anger because we see how far he can go when he killed Livy.
Right.
And so like that right there was like, okay, like I think that he's carrying that rage.
And that's that Viltrumite, man.
The Viltrumite, right. So it's definitely like he's a murderer. Because
he's what, half Viltrumite,
he's a killer,
right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, he's battling a lot of things.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And we did see that where Levy came from, there was other Invincibles that turned evil, basically.
It's almost like
we saw it in the first season.
This Mark is the only good
non-evil.
one.
Yeah, because I think the second season we saw him like evil couple times. Like we saw evil Invincible.
Yeah,
exactly. That's how they started the
opening.
second season off. They started the season off at the beginning with the different dimensions, showing all the different Invincibles and how they were evil.
Right.
Like they took over Earth and stuff.
Basically. Yeah, so he has
that in him.
Right. It's not that far from that. It's closer to that than not. So,
what would make this Mark different? In fact, that's what I'm thinking. Like what makes him different than the other dimensions we saw?
Man,
chance. It's just like chance. It's just like how genetics works. If you just break it down to science, genetics is random. You know what I'm saying? It's just random. You don't know what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
The way it comes together. And I think it's just that random.
Like
with
genetics.
Like the multiverse versions of yourself and all that stuff. Like even in that multiverse, that shit is random. And then in your universe, that shit is random. So Mark just happens, this Mark that we're following on this show just happens to be a decent guy.
Right.
That's how I think it works.
No, I think that explains it.
So I feel like episode 1 is just mostly set up
Yeah.
because we haven't seen him in a while. So
Right.
episode 2 is where things really start happening because
Say
that's
it,
where
Jason. Say it. That's when
What?
things took a
Oh,
turn.
I was like, what's that's what I didn't think it took a turn yet, but yeah, that's when
We
things
need
took a
that
turn.
on the show.
Yeah, that's when things took a turn. Oh goodness.
because Mark is all in Cecil's face because Cecil kept telling him, "Go home, Mark. Go home, Mark. Go home." No, I ain't going nowhere. Why you got dark with it? Why you like go home, Mark? Go home,
Oh yeah,
Mark.
because
Yeah.
the episode
man,
ends.
what you doing?
That
Why
was
you
being a
got-
teenager
Fuck you,
on
Cecil.
Yeah.
He was being very much
I
teenage.
definitely felt like that was way too far. Like I feel like can't you have a regular conversation with him without being so angry? Like
Exactly.
Teenage
Why are you
hormones,
so pissed
I
off
guess.
about Darkwing? So, yeah. Mark was all in Cecil's face, though. He should have just calmed his ass down and talked.
Yeah.
And I never understood why he was that angry about Darkwing being out. I didn't think Darkwing
Did I
was
miss
that-
something? Did Darkwing kill somebody that he loved?
Yeah, he
I
killed people.
couldn't
That's what
put
he
that
said.
together either. Like, did they show
But,
that
like,
to us?
But specifically, did
To
we
the
know
audience?
who he killed? Like,
No,
was it
they
somebody
didn't
that we
say.
know?
I
It's
don't
just
think
like
so. I
he
think
was a
just
villain
killed
that they
people.
stopped. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I know
I
he was
mean-
the son of the original Darkwing that was killed by Omni-Man, and he was trying to get Invincible, and that's what happened in season 2. And then Invincible beat Darkwing Junior.
Yeah.
He's Darkwing Junior.
hmm yeah, that's one of those things I just kind of didn't remember. So I was definitely not understanding why he was so angry.
That's some of that lull in season 2
Yeah.
that we don't remember.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like okay, they reformed him. He's a good guy. He saved y'all. Like his powers actually allowed you to get out of the situation.
I
So
know.
So
Stop complaining.
Darkwing, the original Darkwing, was a part of the 7.
Guardians of the Globe.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
original Darkwing was a member of the Guardians of the Galaxy and got killed by Omni-Man.
in
Yes.
that first episode,
Yeah.
Darkwing Duck
Junior
Jr. was a bad guy.
he
Yeah.
wanted revenge
he wanted
on
Was he? Does he
Invincible.
have power? He has the same powers as his father, or something, where he's going
Yeah.
into shadows and stuff.
Yep.
But he was using them for bad.
Yes.
mainly against Invincible? I think it wasn't.
Yeah, he
even
was trying
like,
to get Invincible because he couldn't get Omni-Man. He wanted to get Invincible.
Yeah, so it wasn't
Okay,
like he
okay,
was
yeah,
just
I
a
get it,
villain
okay.
that was like trying to destroy the world and take over the world.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think he
No,
was just
if I had
vengeance.
Darkwing powers, I wouldn't try to take over the world, but I would definitely be involved in some criminal things.
I mean, it's easy. Just grab some money.
I'd be
out
stealing
the
all
vault.
kinds of shit.
This is Marcus's lawyer.
We also get like a backstory to Cecil, how he got started.
Oh yeah, that's the
It was
second
an
episode.
interesting episode. Yeah.
I enjoyed
Yeah.
that. I really did. It threw me off at first
Because I'm like, he looked a lot like Cecil.
yeah. And I was like, okay, so he was like FBI, like he was like a agent, like you know,
Yeah, because Cecil himself spent time in jail,
yeah,
and they let him out or whatever if he was to take over for the original guy or whatever.
but he was like anti-reform for people because he was also very similar to what Invincible was trying to say. He was like, why are you reforming
Right.
bad guys? And so, no, if they're a bad guy, they're always gonna be a bad guy. And then like, you know, Cecil was trying to tell him like, no, like people can people can change. We trying to make a big difference. And so this is the way we do it. And this is so cool to see the way Cecil works was
Yeah.
like basically they didn't show what he did, but they went from a crazy prison to a reformed, here you go, boss, prison.
Like he
And it's
was running shit in like no time.
how did he do this? And they never showed it, which I thought was even more cool. Like it's like this dude is such a boss that he will be put in prison, the people that he probably put there, and then become the boss of them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that shit was crazy.
And then he said he's like, you don't know what I had to do this. And I was like, it's like goodness. So yeah, he is a G. He definitely
He was
is.
fucking some folks, and
because I think his face got acid burned off, and
yeah,
then
his
he
face
kept,
got acid burned.
yeah, and so he kept.
They
So like
could have
his
fixed his whole face, but
Yeah,
he was
but he
like,
wanted to
"No,
keep
I
that part of
want
his
this
face.
as a reminder."
like his whole
Keep
skin
the
got
stakes
burned
as
off,
high.
except for
Yes,
like
that's what happened. Yeah,
that's
his
a little
whole
piece of
entire
skin. The little piece of his face is still his skin. Everything else is burnt off.
Mm.
So yeah, it's like he got
He
burnt
pretty
off and
gangster.
then put him in jail. That's crazy.
Yeah,
And he don't even have powers.
right.
He's just a
But
survivor.
but watching this episode, it was like Mark was clearly in the wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah. The first like 3 episodes, right?
yeah. Because he's like, I
I
don't
was
want
on
to deal with
Cecil's
you.
side.
I was too. I really was.
Mhm.
Like, okay, yeah, let's reform the bad guys. I guess up until a point. So I get a little bit of that. Some bad
Yeah.
guys don't need to be reformed. Like, let's just leave them out.
Right,
But,
right. Get to
you
that
know,
later.
Yeah,
There's
that
something
does.
that happens later.
There's later stuff. But yeah, but then like he's trying to. So Mark ends up not wanting to work with him at all.
Well, yeah, what happens if they had a big fight? Because after Mark was going to leave, right when Mark flies off, Cecil pressed something in his ear, and he falls to the ground and stuff. And
I
so that's when I
understand
was
why
like,
he did it.
then that's when I was like,
Right.
no, Cecil, you should just let him get
Yeah,
away.
that definitely was stupid for Cecil. Like if he knew, because he knows the game, even though that helped him control him at the time, it showed his cards too quickly. Because it's like he wasn't, because he
wasn't doing anything that would warrant that just yet.
right, exactly, and he
Right,
wasn't.
right.
That's
and
like
it
a
It was
last
definitely
measure.
Cecil showing his balls. Like I
It was,
control
and
you.
you
He
should
should've did
know
that.
this crazy teenager is not going to want to
see
be with
Cecil's
you.
balls because
They're burned off.
75% burned.
99%.
Well, he covered his balls with it. That's the one thing he's able to say. He like crossed his legs.
Yeah.
Not my balls. 75%.
Okay.
It's not doing too bad.
Okay.
But yeah, he shouldn't have did that.
And they
then-
showed it.
Oh goodness, they
Yeah,
would.
they shouldn't have showed
on
it.
this
They
show.
would show that on this show.
They would. They're careful with nudity on this show.
They
This
are.
ain't
They
The
actually
Boys.
are. They
This
don't
ain't The
show.
Boys.
The
The
they
Boys
are
shows
careful.
everything.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They're better about this. But no, it's like a big fight, and like the fight drags on into the Guardians of the Globe's headquarters, and they see and Invincible's like yelling for help and stuff. So that kind of divides up the team right there. Because like I said, Cecil was wrong for that. Like Mark was wrong at first, and then Cecil was wrong. So I was like, well, they're both wrong. in
They
this.
escalated it.
I mean, I
Yeah.
get why Cecil had to install the thing in Invincible's head, like to like take him out, because he's super powerful.
That's
And
his
it's like,
Hulk buster.
I
Yeah,
get it.
yeah.
Like I really get it. But yeah, he shouldn't
I
have
mean,
did it.
Batman does this to the Justice League. He knows the weaknesses of every member of the Justice
Batman
League.
ready to
Just
take
'cause-
any of them out.
Exactly, just in case somebody turns. I mean, I don't blame him for that. I don't blame anybody for that because you don't know if, this
Especially
person's
when you're
gonna
dealing
turn.
with people who have superpower.
Exactly.
You gotta have some
Yeah.
kind of way of trying
You
to
need- you gotta
regulate my
neutralize
shit.
them somehow. Yeah,
Yep.
you
So
gotta
I'm
be
glad
ready.
you don't
for that.
blame anybody, Josh, because if you knew what I did to you, anyway, no. Josh has an anger problem. Oh goodness.
So yeah, the team divides up after
Guardians
after
of
that.
the Globe.
Yeah, they just
Yeah,
straight
'cause they see that like some want to be on Invincible's side. It's like, well, and Invincible's not trying to be a part of the team. He was just like, they chose sides though. They're like, you can't be working with Cecil if you like. He's not working with Cecil, so they're like, okay, well, we ain't gonna work with Cecil either. We're gonna just split up. And then some people decided to stay with the Guardians of the Globe to be with, and it was mainly just it was like 4, right? 4 people, 4 or 5.
Yeah, it was like the ones who were actually friends with Invincible are the ones that left. Like Rex, Rex left. Shrink Ray left.
Right, Robot.
Monster Girl left, and Robot, aka Rudy, left. Rudy mainly left because he was like, I want to be on Invincible's side.
Right, because Invincible
Right,
is
because
the
he's
most powerful
intelligent.
person on
Right.
this planet,
Right.
and I want to
wanna
be on the side
his
of the most powerful person on the planet. So,
Right.
I
So
was
that was
like,
a
okay,
smart decision
yeah,
for him.
yeah, yep. He's like, I'm gonna go where the power is. So,
Right. Of course, Immortal stayed because he's Cecil's lapdog. So he's gonna
yeah,
stay. And Kate's gonna stay because of Immortal.
Immortal, they're
And
like engaged or something.
yeah, they got engaged. Um and there's what's his name? Shapesmith. He's
Oh yeah,
Shapesmith. He's brand
The
new.
alien.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like him.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
hmm
He's pretty much just doing his Sonic the Hedgehog voice.
Right.
yeah.
He acts like a character that I made up.
So okay, so that's it.
Yeah, that was mainly it.
That's
for
the
that
second episode.
Yep. And then third episode.
Do we see?
Episode 3?
Yeah, we don't see any cuts of the planet. I thought we saw some cuts
Of
at
what
some
planet?
point.
Oh, you talking about with Omni Man and Alan?
Yeah, yeah,
No,
Yeah, I
they're
think
in
we
that
do.
station in that
yeah. I'm trying to
prison
remember when
station.
we saw cuts. Yeah, so I don't know at which episodes are cut in, because they have the extra scenes.
Yeah, I think they do show scenes of
Was
them.
that at the end of episode 2 or 3?
Maybe 1.
There was
They
a
do show
couple
you early
cuts.
on.
There was a shortcut early on, maybe at the end of episode 1, but the really good one that I'm talking about.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah, because it's a whole episode. We're gonna get to that one.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's that's one of the best episodes.
Okay.
All right, so episode 2 was called A Deal with the Devil.
Yeah.
So episode 3 is called You Want a Real Costume, right? And basically it's about Oliver
The whole
wanting to
episode, yeah.
the whole episode's about Oliver. Basically, he gets his own costume and he wants to be called
'cause he gets
Omni-Man
powers.
Kid or something like that.
Kid Omni Man.
Oh yeah,
So he
yeah,
gets his
Kid Omni-Man. Yeah.
Yeah,
and
go ahead.
They convince him against that. I don't think
because Oliver don't understand. He's like, Dad's a hero. Like,
Omni-Man to him is a hero. Yeah.
And his
right.
dad,
He
yeah,
never
a
seen
good guy.
right. That's his dad. And the funny thing was Oliver actually points out that he remembers everything when he was a baby. So he remember his dad instead of not
Yeah,
having
he
that
was
memory.
a protector of that planet. He wasn't a villain of his planet. And his mom, he said it. If my mom loved him and my mom made a good choice, that's what Oliver said, then he's a good man.
Right.
Basically, like, wouldn't he be a good man? She would make a bad decision. And so that was one of those things that was like, oh man.
Yeah, and
Goodness.
Mark was trying to explain to him, it's like it's complicated. It's real complicated. Like, Dad just can't come back to Earth at all. Like, he did way too much. He did way too much before you were born,
Right.
And this little kid is powerful, and he ends up killing those twins, those clone
he
twin
killed
guys.
both of them himself.
Yeah, I forgot about them. I was like, oh yeah, that's right. But yes, he did. He killed them both.
They're not on the show anymore.
Bad guys.
Yeah, that was it.
And he
that
was like,
it.
"Hey,
Because
I
they've been
killed
on
the
it since
bad
the
guys.
first season.
Like, that's
Yeah.
right. Like, he's
'Cause
like,
they
I
were
did
the-
the right thing, right? I killed the bad guys. They can't come back now. They're dead now.
Yeah.
I guess that's when we get our first main character death, kind of
Yeah.
thing.
He
Because they were
said
there
that's
since the
what
first
happens
episode.
to the bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, you got to train that kid now.
Right, that was
Because he
scary.
is very powerful.
Right, and
Yeah,
he was
he
so
ain't
cold
even
about it.
grown
He was
yet.
like, "What? What's wrong? What I did?
Right.
What?
He didn't
He didn't
understand
know.
at all.
Yeah, he did not understand that at
He
all.
wasn't even trying to be cold. He was just like, I don't
Stopping the bad
understand.
guy.
They were bad, and I stopped them.
I
For
stopped.
good.
Them. Yeah.
That's what we do, right? and yeah, Invincible's like, dude, like he was scaring him.
If you think about that, though, he
Yeah.
seen Omni-Man do that shit to the bad guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Omni-Man never did that
bad guys
in
that came?
Oliver's life, though. Omni-Man
He
didn't
wasn't
kill any.
born already?
Well, he was born, but he didn't.
I thought he remembered Omni Man from even when he was a baby.
Yeah, he
And
does.
Omni Man was a hero protecting their planet. You know how Omni Man get down? He busting heads.
Yeah, but he didn't do that yet when he was on that planet. Nothing happened until those Viltrumites came.
Oh yeah. Where was he during that
But
time?
he,
Did they evacuate already,
They were
or were they
yeah,
hiding?
they were hiding because the Viltrumites was going to kill Oliver because it
right.
was like he was
That's
an
right.
abomination.
Oh
Yeah.
well, he get it from his daddy
Well, yeah, that's what it
Instinct.
was.
in his
Instinct.
Yeah,
genes.
it's in his
Mm-hmm.
blood. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
That
I mean, we've seen
Viltrumite.
both of Omni Man's sons kind of letting loose a little
Yeah,
bit.
they go there. Yeah, that's Omni Man.
Yeah, so they convince Oliver, like, okay, especially when they use his mom as an example. That's what got him.
Which I do. I do like. I like the mom's relationship with Oliver. Like it's a dynamic. I mean, he's a adopted. She adopted him in a sense.
Right.
And
It's the
so it's
Almost
equivalent of
immediately, she was like, "Look,
it.
yeah,
I love him.
It
Get
is
from
the
here."
equivalent
yeah,
of of a woman raising her ex husband's kid from another,
From outside of marriage,
yeah,
right?
outside,
Just
like,
because
yeah,
he
from
can't
right,
outside of
just
marriage kind of
can't get
thing.
his shit. Can't nobody get it together.
yeah. Right. So I
I
mean,
mean,
it's
we watched
interesting
Tubi movies about
dynamic.
this kind of thing, so
But
but it does
she
feel
really does
like,
care for him because I mean, it's
yeah,
Mark's
it really
brother,
feels
and
like, yeah,
know,
it really feels like their mother and son, though. It really feels
Oh
like
yeah.
that's
yeah.
her
I mean,
son,
he
and
respects
yeah,
her and honors her as a mother.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he knows knows not his real mother, but like he calls her mom, and
right.
I
I
think that there's
forget
like
that they're
a
not related by blood. I actually forget that
oh yeah,
while
yeah,
watching it.
because I mean, she's Mark's mom, but then she's Oliver's mom, so and she's been basically raised him since he was a what do you call it what's the
An
What
infant,
those what those insect
yeah
babies called?
a larva.
yeah
A
a
larva.
larva. Yeah, he's been raised since he was a larva. So,
Yep. So
All
what
right.
else happened?
on that third
Uh
episode, I think that's it, ain't it?
oh man, what else happened? I mean,
That
other
was the
stuff.
biggest thing.
That was
They
the biggest thing. Speaking of the mom, she started dating a guy, and he found out
Yeah.
about. Well, she told him about
Mm-hmm.
Omni Man
her
and all that.
sons being
Yeah. Super powered.
superheroes. Yeah, and was a little unfair because Mark was like, "You didn't ask me if it was okay, to tell him."
Oh, one thing we didn't say was that they actually did make it official, Mark and Kate. And so there's that, and they're dating
Wait,
Mark
now.
and
what?
who?
Who? Wait,
Not
what?
Kate.
You mean
Mark and
Eve?
Eve, yeah.
Oh, okay. You threw me off. I was like, wait,
I'm sorry.
it was a
No.
secret
Eve.
episode. With...
Yeah, you forgot about that one. Yeah. Eve, I'm sorry. But
Yeah,
yeah,
they're
Mark and
developing
Eve,
relationships.
they
Oh,
kind of moved in
and
together and been sleeping
yeah, because
around, and he lived in the house.
oh yeah, they
she's
do. They
sneaking
do
around.
hook up. They do hook up. They fuck.
Oh goodness.
In words of Rex, they fuck. No. And Rex, he starts developing a relationship with Shrink Ray,
Yeah, so there's that. There's that
Mhm.
dynamic
and it's a
there.
sweet little thing too with
Yeah,
them.
it's
'Cause
really
this is the,
innocent. And, yeah.
Mhm.
yeah, because this
you
is the
kind of
first time where
kind of
he's
rooting
not.
for
Right. This is like his first time being innocent about his approach and pure about his approach with this girl. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Right.
you
'Cause
kind
he's
of
just
rooting for him to do it, like do
yeah,
it
because
right.
Rex is kind of the jock kind of character.
Yeah.
He's like the jock of the team kind of guy. So he's the
Mhm.
asshole and stuff. And he's actually like calming down with Ray, with Shrink Ray. And it is pretty innocent. I did like it. I was like, oh, that's cute.
It's a
Like
good
he's
dynamic.
making dinner
Like he
for her and
was
stuff.
making dinner. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah,
was
so he's
cool.
good. Yeah. So you got that, and then you got Mark and Eve got the freelance job.
Well, we haven't got to that yet.
Oh, that's the next episode.
Yeah. That's 2 episodes later.
Oh, okay.
So now we get to episode 4, which is
Oh,
called
yeah.
"You Were My Hero."
Yeah, bitch.
And the first part of this episode is kind of forgettable, but it's when Mark goes into the future. These two guys from way in the future needs
Oh,
Invincible's
yeah.
help, and against a tyrant, and that tyrant happened to be immortal. And so,
Oh yeah, I
Invincible
forgot
had to
about
kill
that. Yeah,
Immortal.
he had to kill Immortal, had to pull his head off.
Yep, he did that.
Yep.
Immortal wanted him to,
And he
too.
wanted him to kill him. He was like, dude,
Right,
I'm not
right.
gonna fight you. I'm not gonna kill you. He's like, please end it. You don't know how torturous it is to just live.
Because it's like, how many? They don't even tell you how far in the future it is.
Right, they
Right.
don't.
But
It's
he's
that
like,
far.
he's just lived just so long and he's tired of being alive.
Yeah, because
To
he
the
was
point
doing, he
where
was
he would get
ruling,
Invincible to kill him.
he was ruling normally, and then he got caught up and then became a tyrant.
What was funny about that episode? Well, the Invincible part was when he was going to the future or whatever, and then the other him just takes the clothes and he's all like, "Here, I'll take it." You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
He's
like
"What's
his
wrong with
change
him?"
of clothes. Yep. So you're like, you'll know, and then
Right.
it's kind of, it was a cool little dimensional loop because like he
Right.
ended up traveling back in time to get the clothes from himself that he needed, his change of clothes from himself. So that's what it was. I like that.
And
It
so
was a
he
good little
felt
fight
bad.
scene.
It was, and he felt bad killing him immortal, even though it's like it's immortal. I don't know if he counts with killing him.
Did he grow his head back if he
No,
took his
he
head
said
off?
because he had to say keep his head separate from his body. So if you put his head and his body back to near each other, they'll
They'll
start.
get back together.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, so this is what's funny about this. After this happens and Eve calms him down, that's when Mark and Eve hook up.
I know.
That's when they
And
Mark
then
Mark
the
is a lot.
narrator,
Mark is a lot more calm when he's satisfied.
That's what the narrator says that.
yes, because what's funny is the narrator said, oh, he's all like interrupted. Oh, I guess we should leave Invincible right now and go see what's going on in space because that's what happened last season.
Oh yeah, that's right.
When he
It
was
did a
hooking up with Amber.
Yep, that's true.
So the narrator only narrates when Marcus.
That's right. He's not narrating. He's not narrating any other
never
part of the
picked that
episode. No other part of the episode. He's just all of a sudden a
He
narrator.
never narrates unless Marcus about
Like,
to have
oh
sex.
my goodness. Yeah, he's peeking in. That's what it is.
That's funny.
That's hilarious.
Because So this is when we get the prison break episode in space.
So like
Alan,
we're building up to it though, because like Alan is trying to get, he's talking to
Omni-Man telepathically.
Telepathically trying to tell him like, you need to get out. Like, I can get you out. Like, we can do this. And
There's several
Omni-Man's kinda
cutaways of that throughout the episode.
yeah, throughout the last few episodes. And so he's kind of like, Omni-Man looks kind of defeated a little bit. He's like, I'm just accepting my fate.
He's 100%. Yeah, he's like, just let me die, all that stuff. But
he's like,
but then he shows a little concern for Alan because the Viltrumites keep testing to see if they can kill Alan, and it doesn't work.
You remember before that he says, "I think I miss my wife."
Right, that was on the season finale. That was the very last thing
season.
on season 2 that he said.
That's true.
That's very important because he's starting to show humanity.
Right. And so when Alan comes back after being tested or being tortured and it didn't work, Nolan is all like, "Oh, you're okay," and Alan's like, "Oh, you care." So he's noticing that so Nolan is slowly breaking. Yeah, he's getting through to him and stuff. And so they officially have the prison break because, I think because the Viltrumites are about to kill Nolan, they grab him, and so so Alan's like, "Okay, it's now or never."
Him out to death.
Yeah, but they carry him off. They start, because remember when they start carrying him off, that's when Alan officially breaks out and he breaks out all these other prisoners
like nothing. He breaks out like nothing. By the way.
Oh
right,
yeah.
He's just like, oh, finally,
easily
ping.
Been out. It's like, you're ready to leave. You're ready to leave. Okay, let's go.
Caught in the first place.
Right. He's there by choice.
Right.
It's clear that Alan's there by choice.
Yep. Yeah, he definitely said, like, as soon as he was ready to leave, he was like, okay, now I can go. Let's go.
But what's so crazy about this episode is Alan frees all these other prisoners just for them to get killed.
Man, me and Josh were laughing so hard. I laughed so hard when he freed all them people. They were like, yeah, and they got the gun. They immediately got shot.
So that's horrible.
But it's funny because they got shot like regular people.
You thought they were gonna do something? They didn't do nothing but get
They
killed.
didn't do nothing but get
They
killed.
got killed immediately. That shit was that
Like
shit.
immediately.
I was watching that by myself and I laughed out loud when that happened. I laughed so hard when that happened. I said, I can't wait till Josh is able to talk about this.
Oh yeah, because I think you watched it before I did. That's what it was. You texted me about this episode before I got a chance to watch it. But there was one prisoner they couldn't just get rid of that easily.
Who was that?
Battle Beast.
Battle Beast.
That's like one of my favorite characters on this show.
Oh yes.
Man.
We got introduced to Battle Beast, one of the best characters in the show. He only gets one episode, but he's one of the best characters.
He was thirsty for Viltrumite.
You said something about like there's a part of the episode that I wanted to talk to you about. You'll know.
So it kind of went like
And
this. So Marcus saw it first and told me like, you need to watch this episode. And so I watched it. Then I text Jason like, you need to watch this episode. I said, there's one character. There's one character you're going to love.
You said one part. That's all you said. There's one part that I just want. Yeah, you didn't say character. You like, there's one part that when it happens, you'll know. So I was like, okay.
Motherfucking, I'll go ahead and say now my favorite characters on the show are Alan the Alien and Battle Beast.
Oh, okay.
I love Battle Beast. And then, we'll get to the rest later. But Battle Beast, since we talking about Alan and Battle Beast, these are my two favorite characters, which made this my favorite
episode
of one of my favorite episodes.
Yeah, so that's why you was like, okay, this is definitely...
Yeah, Battle Beast comes out, who is the voice of Worf.
Yes.
Right.
Michael Jason, I was going to have you talk about that.
Yeah, he comes out.
It's Worf. And
it's just straight up Worf.
Did you ever meet him?
Yeah, I did. I met him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He plays an excellent Battle Beast, which is basically Worf's voice.
It's just
more thirsty. He's like Worf, but more thirsty for blood.
I mean,
like the whole time he's like, "Where's Worf? I want to fight.
I want to fight." He's like, "You promised me Viltrumite. I don't see any Viltrumite." And he was like, "I don't see any worthy opponents. The only worthy opponent I see is you." Pointing at Alan the Alien, then he started trying to fight him.
Yes.
I was like, man, this shit crazy. And then they end up taking it out of the ship, and they were fighting all in space and stuff. And then suddenly these Viltrumites came, right? Then they fight a couple Viltrumites. Viltrumites
that's
came.
what it was. Yeah.
And Battle Beast was fighting a bunch of them by himself.
Well, he was fighting the guards that were there. I think it was only two Viltrumites that were there. So two Viltrumites show up, and Battle Beast takes on one by himself. And they're just fighting in space, in the air of space.
And you never see what happens.
Right. You never see what happens.
Right.
And then Alan pretends to get beat by the other Viltrumite until Nolan is like, no! And knocks out the other Viltrumite. And then, because I was like, why is Alan suddenly getting beat by a Viltrumite? But it was clear.
No, he was just pretending. He was giving Nolan motivation.
Yeah.
And then Nolan came over there, and then they were fighting that one, and then Nolan came over there. They came at the same time when they were punching at the same time from different directions. And I was describing this to Tori, and she started shaking her head.
Oh, goodness.
Because Tori hates violent stuff. And she already knew where it was going. She said, I already know what's going to happen. He bust his head. His head went and then like, they hit the dude's head at the same time like this, and his head busted. And they animated the shit out of that too.
Yeah.
Man, I rewound that part immediately.
Oh, goodness.
Because it was so satisfying for that asshole Viltrumite to get what he deserved. And to see Nolan, I love anytime Nolan kills another Viltrumite. That should be crazy.
Yeah. And him and Alan together teaming up, I was like,
Mhm.
oh, this was like
Yeah,
the best team up of the show.
Mm-hmm.
that was dope.
Mm-hmm.
Like straight up.
Ghostface and Raekwon of the show.
Mm.
Yeah, so like Nolan pointed out, there's less than 50 Viltrumites left.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
So which means that
That means they
they
have a chance with
they
those
definitely
two
have a chance
alone.
now. Yeah, yeah.
Right.
But unfortunately, that's the last we see of Nolan and Alan for the
For the
season.
rest of the season.
Yeah, we don't
That's
see them
right.
anymore.
Womp, womp, womp.
Yeah. So yeah, that was episode
Put
4.
your dick away, nerds. They don't come back. But yeah, Battle Beast was the shit. You promised me Viltrumite.
So we don't know.
love
We
that
don't really
opponent
know
sees
what they're doing. I mean, they're basically free from the prison. They killed a Viltrumite, and what is
Now they're
Alan
just in
wants-
space. We don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm pretty sure
They can
Alan
both
is
fly
gonna
in
take-
space.
Yeah, they can. They both can. I think Alan's probably going to take Nolan over to Optimus Prime, Viltrumite.
To get fixed up.
Yeah, and to just they probably got because they got like a resistance going on kind of thing.
Man,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
gonna be Alan the Alien, Optimus Prime,
Omni-Man.
and eventually I need them. What I thought was gonna happen by the end of this season, since we know they don't show up again, was that they was all gonna team up with Mark. Oh, hi, Mark, and they all get together and start whooping and then the boy jump in too, and start whooping everybody ass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess that's going to be next season or so when this
Season
happens.
4, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Well,
That was episode 4. So
five.
that was so we had so after that we still have 4 more episodes. We're like, oh my goodness, what's
Yeah.
happening next?
Yeah.
But that's the first episode where I asked myself, is this my favorite episode?
That's the first
By the
episode
end of
that you
that,
asked.
yeah.
Yeah.
That is one of the best episodes of the series, I got to admit. Episode
Yeah.
4 was that was
Do they
definitely
show
up there.
they show Mark at all in this episode? Or is it just the
Yeah, that's when he went into the
Yeah,
future.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, that's because it's basically a 2-parter episode because they just kind of
Yeah.
in that and then they go right into
Because that's why that's why we leave from there, because he's having sex, because the narrator decides to narrate right.
and go to
right when he's
space.
having
Yeah, that's
sex.
right. I remember now. Okay. Yeah, it felt like a whole nother episode.
Right, it
Yeah,
was.
it was awesome.
Yeah, it was pretty much was. So then we get to episode 5. This is where we get where
They start
Mark,
their business. Yeah.
yeah, Mark and Eve decide because they want to move out of the house. Well, Mark wants to move out of the house because
So he
they
can
don't
get
have no
laid
privacy.
Right.
So he can get laid more.
Right, because his mama all open in the, Mark, are you
Opening
in
the
there?
door.
That narrator
You know.
looking all at them.
Oliver
They just
catching
can't-
them. They're
I know, they
wrestling
just
every
Like,
can't-
as
night.
soon as he move out the house, the narrator will stop. Like the only reason, like the
you guys are
narrator is
making
really a
wrestling
peeping
noises
tom
all
across
night.
the street.
They do mention that though.
Well, guys, we're gonna have to go to another scene. Looks like
Oh,
Mark
my
is about to get
goodness.
laid.
It's the only time he gets into the show.
Mhm.
Yep. And Oliver clearly sees them. He's like, because Eve pretends to show up in the morning, like, "Oh, hey guys, I happen to be in town. I'm walking by."
Right.
Yeah, everybody
Like,
knows. Everybody knows they're together, so it's kind of like, okay, y'all. And his mom don't really care. Like she's not.
That's pretty
you know,
funny too, though. That's pretty teenagery too.
to
Yeah.
pretend like you're not there.
No, to think that you're hiding
Oh,
that
yeah,
part.
yeah,
Of
Oh
the
yeah.
relationship.
Everybody knows. Probably
That
hear
everybody
them.
knows.
They probably hear them.
That's okay. That's enough.
They're two superheroes.
Okay,
Two
Having
superheroes
sex.
fucking.
all right.
There's probably some powers going on.
I would use my power during sex. I ain't gonna lie.
Eve got some power. She said she can create things out of matter.
Create
so-
whatever.
I know.
So-
Create some more stuff, girl.
You know the toys out. You know the toys.
Because you
out.
know Duplicate uses her power during sex.
Oh my god. Duplicate, yes.
Marcus's face.
I think they referenced that with duplicating last season. I think they referenced that.
I thought they did.
Yeah, that yeah. And Mortal was getting with a few of
All of them. He's the one that can handle all of them. So, but yeah, their business is basically.
Wait, didn't they catch Rex with her?
I thought they did.
Because Rex was cheating on Eve with Kate.
With 2 duplicates.
Yeah. So that's when you first see that happen.
That was in like the first or second episode.
Season. Oh,
yeah.
What? First
Not
episode?
first episode. Not first episode. First season.
But definitely first season.
Yeah.
Back when Rex was still an asshole.
Mm-hmm. So they have to. So he's trying to get a business so they can make some money to pay some rent. So that's like regular people problems.
Yeah,
so
and so they do that. So they
because I think he applies for some jobs and couldn't get them and stuff like that.
I mean, it makes sense to be a superhero with a job, especially in their world where there's nothing but superheroes in that world.
Right.
So that makes sense.
But he's the most powerful superhero, which when he was with Cecil, he had everything taken care of. You know, like he could have, they got unlimited money, you know, not unlimited, but they definitely got money. And so he could have used that, but he's like, no, touch Cecil.
Yeah. So, we failed to mention that Cecil's kind of like Nick Fury and Amanda Waller a little bit.
Yeah.
Not as bad as Amanda Waller because she's just terrible.
Not as good as Nick Fury. No,
right, not as good as Nick Fury.
Nick Waller.
So he's little because he has his own motivation, which you know it's not necessarily we don't know all the time. So
I mean, Nick Fury wasn't squeaky clean himself.
Right, that's true.
So yeah, so that type of character where they kind of the boss over the superhero people. I was just like, Invincible should be glad that Cecil's nothing like Amanda Waller. Because, like, you know, he's worried about little buzzing in his ears. Amanda Waller would blow up his head. Literally. That's what she does.
Yep. So
they become security for this prison. That's basically what they get hired for.
And there's like a prisoner that they had in a couple episodes before that was like returning. I'm trying to remember.
So what happened was, what was kind of cool about the episode, I think it was, I don't know if it was in this episode or episode before that, where they show these 2 guys that were roommates and they were villains and they were trying to rob a bank, but then they stopped. I think they were roommates. They didn't show them as lovers or nothing like that. I think they would have been obvious. You think they were a couple?
They were a couple.
I don't know. They didn't show them being a couple. They just showed them being roommates. There's a difference. Either way, because I think the show would have been afraid to show that if they were a couple. But they tried to go clean for a while, but they can't make rent. And so they eventually just give up and become supervillains again. But then they get beat up and go right back to prison.
Yeah.
So it kind of shows it's kind of hard to be a bad guy. Or just basically it's hard to be a superpower person.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a superpower person.
Because they showed them trying to work, trying to do the regular jobs. They were like doing like working at a burger joint and stuff like that. And you know, they had the you know, stuff happened, rent went up, couldn't make ends meet, you know, they had foreclosed notices and stuff, eviction notices, and they're like, man, like, that was a nice montage, and you saw the plant slowly dying over time.
What does the plant represent?
Just their sadness.
So their sadness dies away? Is that what you're saying?
Oh goodness.
Is it happiness?
Yeah, their happiness fades away. That's what it is. It represents their happiness. But they're in prison, right?
Yeah. And this other guy wants to get Multiple out. This old Asian man wants to break Multiple out.
Because that's the dude from the gang leader. I like that guy.
Yeah. Who has that big the big ass dude with him?
Yeah.
Right.
So like the crime boss that runs everything, his name is Titan. Who reminded me of
Black Samson.
No. He actually reminded me of Tombstone.
Yeah, he does kind of remind me of Tombstone. His power is very similar too. Right,
and just his position, because I'm like, that's how Tombstone is.
Yep.
In the Marvel universe, he's kind of a crime lord kind of guy.
He has a family, you know, so he's got a kids, like, you know.
Oh yeah, because that guy threatens. Titan's
Daughter.
family, his daughter. Titan is voiced by Mahershala Ali.
Oh, I'm like, who is that? Boy, I've heard that
I just
voice.
found that
Who
out
is
by
that?
looking on IMDb just now. It's like Mahershala
Oh,
Ali
just
played
now.
him.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That's
So
cool.
Titan approaches Invincible and he's like, "Hey, I need your help." And of course, Invincible's like, "You're a bad guy. I'm not working with you because you're a bad guy." So I think Titan fakes his death or something.
Yeah, it's weird.
He fights the old Asian man or whatever. So Invincible
Yeah, Titan
ends
is
up
brilliant
fighting.
actually, because that's part of the show. Is like Titan
He's a
was
crime
showing that
lord.
he's I can figure this out. Like I ain't just some thug off the street. Like I actually know things, and I
But
can
it
use the
takes
things to my system to my advantage.
right.
Right.
He's a isn't he like the mayor and he's like a kingpin at the
Kind of
same
thing.
time?
Yeah, he's kind of like, that's what I'm saying. He's like a crime
You
lord.
got to be smart.
Right.
Yeah.
You ain't
So he's
in that
navigating
position
because
as
he
a
showed
dumb
Mark.
person.
He showed Mark. He's like, look at this neighborhood. You know, like this is what
Right.
I made the neighborhood safe. You know,
And then,
like
and
I
then
made the
when he was
neighborhood
trying
safe.
to when he was trying to chase him, he had a whole section of the neighborhood just to throw you off. He went down a sewer hole,
Yep.
came up, and it was a whole bunch of dudes with hoods dressed up just
Right.
like him. Like, damn, he got that
He got away
coordinated
from
just like
he got
that.
away from
That's
Invincible
right.
because he's
Yeah,
like,
he
I'm a
did.
boss.
He was very smart.
But so he
He-
definitely used the
he's very
system to his
calculated.
advantage. Mm-hmm.
Right,
And so
right.
he knew what Mark was going to do. Because
Oh, yeah,
Mark
he
was pretty
definitely
predictable because he's
Right.
yeah, Mark is pretty predictable.
Mark is
So
I mean,
yeah,
he's a
that should,
teenager.
that should
so
be
yeah.
his name.
yes,
Predictable.
predictable. Invincible, predictable. So yeah, what did he
Yeah,
do to
so-
manipulate the situation?
So Titan made a deal with that machine head guy,
Mm-hmm.
the original crime lord.
In jail.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Auto
so
tune.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I loved his voice. Yeah.
Hacking computers and stuff like that.
So they end up beating that old Asian guy.
Yeah, because when his body is not,
Yeah, he
his
turns
body
into a
is
dragon.
separated from the dragon. When it's separated from the body is vulnerable. So if he can take the
Yeah.
body out, then the dragon will die.
Right. So that's what ended up happening.
Yeah, so he did it, and he did it exactly. And Invincible did everything that he thought he was going to do, and Titan did what he was going to do and took him out. Took out the. So he used all that to his advantage. And so
But didn't Titan kind of get out because he kind of let the machine head guy back into ruling?
Yeah, he kinda
he
used
let him
that
back
to,
into
like-
power, but that
Yeah.
was so he can keep his position as mayor or whatever, and like just
Mhm.
keep his family safe, and just I'm fine where I am. I ain't
Right.
trying to be a crime boss lord. I just want to be the fucking mayor and keep this city safe and clean for my daughter.
Okay.
Like that's literally his motivation these days.
Mm-hmm.
So all that was a part of his plan to keep his daughter and family safe. That's
Right.
literally what he was. That's all he was concerned with.
So the season was really, especially with that episode, this season was really showing that the bad guys are not that bad.
They're not
And
bad people.
Right. They're not bad people. And the good guys
Entirely.
are not always that good.
Right.
So we're seeing both sides. Like they're not just, it's not
Yeah.
just black and white.
Yeah, because I think it was good it was interesting to see in Immortal as a tyrant. You know, like they showed us that like he's been the hero, like he's got his motivation, but like you see him as a tyrant that rules over the planet. Like, whoa. So I think that's part of that, seeing the difference between the different good and bad, and seeing these guys switch, like Titan being, oh yeah, he's actually pretty good.
Right.
You were rooting for Titan. You wanted him to win.
Yeah, for real. Like I didn't think Titan was a terrible person at all.
Mm-hmm.
So then we get to episode 6. Boy, this is when it starts really like, oh, these episodes.
Now say
are
it,
really...
Jason.
And that's when things took a turn. Oh goodness.
So we meet a guy. What's his character's name? Because he's played by Aaron Paul, who played
Solo
Jesse Pinkman.
Flex. His name
Solo
is,
Flex.
Yeah,
Okay.
Solo Flex is his name.
That's his,
No, his name is Powerplex.
Yeah, I was gonna say his name is Powerplex. I don't know if it's real name in the show was called, though. I forgot.
Powerplex is a superhero name.
Yeah.
Yeah, his supervillain name or whatever.
Okay.
But it's played by Aaron Paul. It took me a while to figure out it was him. Like,
Really?
yeah.
Oh, I
After
knew immediately.
once he started yelling, I was like, "Oh, that's Aaron Paul."
Yeah, I knew that immediately. I was like, oh,
Who
that's
the
him.
fuck is Aaron Paul?
From
He's
Breaking
Jesse
Bad.
Pinkman from Breaking Bad.
I don't know who the hell Jesse Pinkman is.
The guy that makes meth with Walter White. That
Who the
says
fuck
bitch
is
all the
Walter
time.
White?
The main guy
Oh
in
my goodness.
Breaking Bad. Well, anyway, it starts off with him at the beginning. Like, we kind of get a flashback of him with his sister and his niece.
Mhm.
And it's right when Omni-Man was attacking, or Omni-Man and Invincible were fighting in Chicago.
That's like the first season.
Oh yeah. There's a huge callback to the first season.
Right.
Yeah, this episode made me want to rewatch that episode, even
Mhm.
though it's hard to watch. That episode, it's one of
It
my
is
favorite
hard to
episodes, but
watch.
it's really hard to watch.
It's tense.
But apparently, because Marcus told me this, and I forgot that
There's a whole scene.
Powerplex's sister and niece are in that episode. Like, Invincible is trying to save them in that episode, and they die. He like holds onto their arm. Like,
Oh
you see,
wow.
yeah. So that was Powerplex's sister arm that you saw. I even realized that. So they did show them.
Yes, get rating.
Yeah. So he's throughout the episodes from Powerplex's point of view, mostly. You see a little bit from Mark's point of view, but the episode's kind of funny because he's not that great of a supervillain. He's like doing the typical yelling out in the middle of the street, "I want to fight Invincible. Where is he?" That
Yeah, this
cliche
guy does look like
supervillain thing.
he'll sound like that.
Yep. That's how he sounds.
Yeah, and
he does a little
Invincible's
bit of
not
that.
even
Oh,
showing
y'all the
up.
same age, Josh.
Oh, really?
Well, you're like just a month older than him.
Oh, I hate hearing that. Whenever I hear they're the same age as me, even if they're a month older.
Oh, good.
Because me and Channing Tatum are the same age, but he's a little bit older. But
Okay.
but me and Ryan Gosling are the same age as well, but I'm a little bit older than him, and I don't like that. So now I know about Aaron Paul.
He doesn't like that.
Even if it's a couple of months, I don't like it. I want everyone to be older than me. No.
Oh, wow.
I just want to be a baby again.
Oh goodness. None of our listeners will know what that reference means. Sorry for inside jokes.
Why did you do that? Oh, shit.
Watch Josh's Journal episode 1.
Yep.
All right.
So yeah, Powerplex throughout the episode, he's talking to his wife and stuff, trying to get because he works for Cecil, doesn't he? Like, he's one of the many workers that
like he works in the
there.
Pentagon building. Yeah, like he's not even, so it's like Cecil wouldn't know who he is, but he works in the company.
Right.
And so yeah, he does some stuff for the company, and so there's been some things that have been stolen, and so he's trying to build up. Basically, he's trying to get revenge on Invincible for killing his sister, quote unquote killing, for being the cause of the death of his sister.
Right, because he's like, Invincible's responsible for all
right,
this.
it's
Why
all his
hasn't
fault.
he gone to
It's all
court?
his
Why
fault.
hasn't he?
Yeah.
Like, he's just flying back around like nothing happened.
Yep.
That's what you've seen it from his point of view.
Right. It's like he
So
don't
he's
care about
trying his
nothing.
best.
Which,
Yeah.
I mean, that's definitely like, do you blame the hero? And this is really where I like seeing the impact of the hero battles. So like, they started showing a little bit of that with Avengers, with the Sokovia Accords and stuff like that. So you see the impact of like people that are in the neighborhood, their houses and things get destroyed, and it's like, okay, what happens just because you flying around and fighting the bad guy? Like, they show so much destruction, but then you see people actually die It's casualties. So it's like a war, when you see these fights.
Right. This show is definitely
Well,
known for that.
this stuff, all these casualties during all these superhero fights happened in the first Avengers. We just didn't see it. Happened in Sokovia.
Right.
We just didn't see it.
Right.
But that's the whole
right.
reason for the Sokovia Accords in the Marvel universe is because
Right.
people got fucked up.
Right.
In Invincible, they just show that shit.
Because, you think about it, like, okay.
They show you the stuff you don't see on Dragon Ball
A
Z.
hurricane comes.
Right.
Or storm comes. People, there's casualties in those things. You those are random, but like a person running that fast and the building falls on them, what you think gonna happen?
Right.
So yeah.
It's the stuff that happens during Godzilla fights and shit.
Oh, right.
But
exactly.
they just don't show you that like they show you on this show.
Oh, you need to watch Godzilla -1, by the way.
Okay, yeah, I heard that was dope.
Yeah, Godzilla -1 shows that.
Okay.
Shows the impact.
Yes, it shows
the
it from
impact on the people.
Yeah, like on the people. So highly suggest watch that movie. You want to see from the victim's point of view of dealing with Godzilla.
Yeah, check it out. So they end up he ends up fighting at one point and finding him, and so they end up he ends up kidnapping another, like, quote unquote kidnapping his wife and kid, and he threatens.
Yeah, because he knew that. What happens is Powerplex, he fights Shapesmith and gets away, but then he fights the Guardians of the Globe, and it was like a memorial thing going on that Mark is actually at.
Right.
And Powerplex shows up, but Mark, he's like, he ain't gonna fight him, but the Guardians of the Globe show up, and of course they beat him because they're a superhero team.
Right.
But then Powerplex escapes. He breaks out of the van or whatever that they had him in. And then so he's like, oh, okay, I know how to get invincible. He thinks he saves people, so I'm gonna pretend that I have a victim.
That I'm right.
Yeah, so he has his wife and his baby.
His wife, by the way, is so willing to do this. She's almost more willing. It's almost like it's her idea.
Right.
And she ain't got no powers, and she like, yeah, you could do this. Like, fuck him. He got my sister killed, or whoever. He got my sister-in-law killed, or whatever. And like, or my cousin-in-law, or what? Wait, was it his sister?
Yeah, it's his sister.
So sister-in-law.
Fuck him. We're gonna do. She was so down to do this dumbass idea they get ready to do.
It was not a good idea.
Well, it was such a stupid idea.
He had a real ride or die,
and he had a real die.
Spoiler alert.
And so
yeah, she doesn't make it out alive.
Yeah, they fucking they what does he do? Don't they go to the apartment that was his sister's apartment? Well, wasn't that his sister's old apartment that they were in, or
they were in an old building or something?
Some old dilapidated building that was part of the casualty or something. I thought.
Yeah, because Powerplex confronts Invincible, and Invincible does feel bad. He's like, "Look, man,"
and they dumb enough. They bring their baby with them.
Right.
So, by the way, but okay,
that's another stupid.
All right, so they act like they're tied up. Him and Invincible get to fight. Invincible's trying to take the fight outside.
Right,
to
away
get him
from
away from
the family.
The kid and the baby.
I don't want to make sure the kid.
And then he keeps the fight inside for some reason, and then he like takes all his electric powers. He's got Invincible, like he's like holding him down or something, right? He's like holding him or something, and like he uses as much electric force as he has, and it's just until he runs out of electric power.
Yeah, and actually then, knocks out Invincible when he does this.
Yeah, and then when he wakes up, but he's kind of out of it because it drains, so much energy from him. And then he look over and he's fried his wife and kid. So rewind a little bit in the episode. As soon as I heard that baby crying in the other room, I was like, he's gonna lose his family. They're gonna die. Like there's absolutely no reason for me to see this guy's wife and kids, because that's the only reason. This is Robert Kirkman who wrote Walking Dead. I
Yep.
said the only reason this motherfucker has a family
Just so we can
is
see
for them to
see him
get
die.
killed.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's what happened.
Yep.
And plus, he's got
And he
such
brought it on
rage.
himself. Right. He was
Right.
so
It's like, and he was
blind
even.
with rage.
It was that's really, if you think about it, like
like, God,
this is the
calm
cause.
down. Man.
Rage, anger, and rage actually does hurt you more than it hurts the people that you're angry with.
Right.
You know,
Right.
and I think that's part of the lesson of the episode.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you know, like he literally burned his wife and kittens up, wife and daughter up, son or daughter.
Was it a daughter?
I don't remember.
I just knew it was a
Wife
baby.
and
Maybe it was a
child.
boy.
Yeah, don't know.
Yeah.
The baby was just there to be the victim.
Just to be the kill. Right.
Yeah. Because it's like, okay, if you want to get revenge on the hero or the guy that killed your sister because of a casualty, like why would you put your family at risk in a situation that's gonna get them? Because I mean, if you think that he's that dangerous that he killed your,
Well, that's the thing. I don't think he thinks Invincible's that dangerous. Because he thinks he can take on Invincible himself. That's why he stole that stuff from work and all that stuff.
He's pretty powerful. I mean, every time he gets hit, he charges. So it's like, okay, that's a really cool. I get it.
Yeah. So he figured he would be a match.
If he can punch him hard enough, then it'll just use that to redirect electricity. But it is invincible. So
right,
he's just the villain of the week.
Right. So, literally villain of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because he did kind of remind me of the Spot a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
it was like
a
the
whole
same
lot.
kind of
very similar backstory.
Oh, very similar.
Right. Yeah,
almost exactly. Because he was just so vengeance on Invincible. That was the thing. So even at the end, he's all like, "I'm gonna redeem you. You're gonna, you'll be all right."
Like, I hope you reform. And he's like, when I get out of here, I'm
going to kill you and your family. It's like, calm down.
Right. Yeah. Because of course he blames Invincible for him killing his own family.
Right.
But
it's Invincible's fault. This is all your fault, Invincible. You killed my family. Like, no, dude, you did. Like, oh my goodness. Take some responsibility.
Right, right. But he's too angry. That's the problem.
This anger
can't
blinds.
See. Yeah.
What's Yoda say? The anger leads to
to suffering, or something.
You don't
leads
know.
to the dark side.
Yeah, you just skip the whole end.
Yoda
was right.
Suffering. I forgot his whole thing. They said.
I'm gonna quote it in a second.
Oh,
touch my body.
Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering.
Suffering. So episode 6, and that was called "All I Can Say Is I'm Sorry." So that's
all that I can say. So
it was clearly Invincible singing that.
I can say.
Yeah,
Powerplex.
So that's Marcus is singing our commercial for our.
Yeah. That was that episode was kind of predictable though.
I mean, you kind of knew what was
probably
happen.
the most predictable episode.
You knew it was going to happen. Right. You see, you didn't. I wasn't surprised. I mean, no, I didn't feel like he was going to be able to take out Invincible. There was never a moment where I thought that, oh man, he's a threat. But it was more about him seeing. You can see the tension that Mark was having about just the work, the impact that his that he caused, and so I think that's clear. And so I mean, I felt for Mark, and the villain was the villain, and he was annoying.
He was annoying.
Yeah, that's what it was. Some villains are annoying. You have
like, God, shut up.
Mm-hmm. Stop screaming. Like, calm down. Just take some. Like, some people just need to smoke some weed. Like, that's the
lesson. We don't see villains smoking weed.
Yeah, that's what, like, it's
what
too
it is.
angry. Like, calm down. So,
but then we get to episode 7, which is titled "What Have I Done?"
Which is maybe.
I mean, that was an intense episode.
Same.
It's
I was
That
really
like,
good.
maybe
episode,
that's
that
it's
was
up there
where I was like, what? How in the world can you stop this?
for real.
What happened, Jason?
Well, it's all about you see Angstrom Levy basically summoning. He's like, I get, because everybody want to get revenge on Invincible. So he's now alive. So you're like, oh wait, did he
Well, he
die?
never died from
Yeah,
getting
exactly. Like
his
he never
head
died.
beaten.
So you
Oh,
see,
and we
like,
forgot to point out earlier that in earlier episodes there was a little device hovering outside
right, that was
of their
true.
house.
Yeah, and it was
Yeah, on a
clear
couple
that it
different
wasn't.
episodes. Yeah,
Yeah,
It
yeah.
wasn't.
It
It was.
wasn't
it
Cecil.
wasn't
Yeah,
Cecil. Yeah,
Cecil acknowledged that. He's like, I don't know whose this is, but it ain't us, and we watching them, but that
And I
ain't
like the
us.
fact that both Cecil and Invincible both pointed out that like Cecil's still watching Invincible. Obviously, he just
Yeah,
can't
he
find the
knows.
cameras.
Yeah, he just knows. Not us, but you know, he don't know. So yeah, so we see that he's alive. So he basically set up like
first off, I was like, how is he still alive?
because
Right.
he set up some people on another planet
But they
multiverse.
showed his face. It was what was his
Man,
head.
it was
Yeah.
goop.
Yeah,
It was just like tongue and
but maybe
teeth.
a little piece of brain left. You know, he had a little piece of brain that wasn't smashed because he had a big brain, so there was a little piece of brain left. And so, but yeah, he had people put him back together
reconstruct his face.
entirely. And so,
Yeah.
and I don't know how long it took, but they did it. And so now he still got his powers. As long as he got his hands, I guess he still got his multiverse powers. And so he creates. He wants to come back to the main verse that we follow, and brings.
But I'm like, for him to not die initially, is he superpowered already?
I thought
I think so.
he had to have some kind of power after that. Like you can't, like, I don't care. Yeah,
He's
that's a
pretty
lot.
strong, even though Mark said, I thought you were stronger, you know.
At the end, yeah.
Apparently he was stronger because he
Mhm.
lived. He lived from that.
Yep. So Mark was
So
right.
this episode's known as the Invincible War.
Mm.
And it lasted for multiple days.
That's wow. They do show that too. Like they show
Yeah.
day one, and it's like,
Oh, yeah.
it's intense.
So basically, he sends all those other Invincibles. Can y'all still hear me?
Yeah.
He sends all those other Invincibles down to Earth to just fuck shit up
There's
around the globe.
There's 18 Invincibles spread throughout the entire planet Earth from
right.
multiverses, and they all are evil. And they're just destruction. That's all they're doing. Just
And
destroy.
it was kind of hard to tell our Invincible apart from these other Invincibles
Yeah.
because we forgot to mention that our Invincible changed costumes.
Right,
Mhm.
right.
He's wearing black and blue now, so he looks different.
Yep. Which I don't think he had to change the costume. He should have kept the other one. But, you know, whatever.
Yeah, well, he kind of showed.
You just
There's
like
a couple
'cause
of
he
reasons why he
yellow
did
on
I
that.
do like the yellow.
Yeah,
I
that's
also like
why.
the yellow and black one that was evil. I was like, that's a good costume. That was pretty dope.
Yeah,
Didn't he
I
have a
liked.
cape?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I like that Invincible too. The one with the cape.
Mhm.
With the...
I was like, I wouldn't mind a figure of that one.
He was pretty cool. I gotta admit, some of these Invincibles had some pretty cool costumes.
My
I was
favorite
like-
one was the Mohawk one.
I did like Mohawk Invincible. He was pretty cool. He was. I mean, you know, he was.
They
evil.
were all
He was evil, but he looked cool.
was-
in his-
yeah.
But it's funny because Jason would be the yellow one and I would be the Mohawk.
Yeah, so we like the ones that we
that we look like.
Yep.
It
But
was
the
a series.
Omni-
It was a point in time where
Yeah.
that's what I looked like.
hmm You did.
I like the Omni Man.
Yeah.
Invincible.
He was
Mhm.
the most intimidating. Well, yeah.
I like the one with the mustache. I thought he was cool looking because he
was
looked
cool,
like a
but
Viltrumite.
Yeah, he straight up looked like a
he
feel
felt
like a
Viltrumite.
straight up Viltrumite.
Yep. But so they had.
But he was weak though.
Yeah, he was weak as
He
shit.
ended up getting killed by
That's true.
some regular people. Then
Right.
No, not regular people. Just a regular another
Like the-
superhero.
yeah,
Just like-
the regular
they
heroes.
showed-
I mean,
Not
Yeah.
not Mark. Yeah.
right.
Yeah, I don't think Mark killed any of them.
Yeah, that was intense. Like all of the fighting multiple Invincibles, and then like they were like, which one is which? And it's like it's me, you know. But it's like fighting multiple Invincibles is destroying everything. They're all over the place.
Everything
The biggest thing happens when the fight in the
in the prison,
no the fight in
in the Guardians.
the Guardians spot wherever they new location is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the new Guardians. So the teen Guardians or whatever,
Yeah.
Rex and them.
Right.
Because that was intense.
That was intense.
Oh yeah, and then
because Rex is like, you know, he's fighting, and there was a what's the girl's name? Shrink
Ray.
Shrink Ray. So like, there's like that, like he's trying to get her away, and they're like figuring things out. It's like,
no, she wasn't there at the fight.
Mm-mm.
So what happened was
she left
Rex,
beforehand. Yeah.
No. What happened was her and Rex. Well, she moved out of the Teen Titans. I'm gonna say she moved out of their place, and she was getting her own place, and Rex was with her. And then they saw an explosion happen, and Rex was like, "I'll be right back."
Yeah, that's right.
But before he said that,
and
he
this
signed
was
his
right
death
after
note.
me and Josh had that conversation where Josh was like, "They haven't killed any main characters yet."
But the moment,
and then you were like, "Yeah, people are concerned for Rex."
yes, because Rex was getting better, and then he said the death notice on this episode at the
I'll
very
be
beginning.
right back.
No, that wasn't it. He said everything's going good for me now.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
which means my character arc is now complete. That's basically what he said, which means there's no need for me for the rest of the show.
Yep.
So he's completely a good person now. He's nothing like how he was in the first season.
Yeah.
So of course he's gonna die in this episode. And he pulled a gambit. He
literally, it was very, very, very Gambit.
That's his
and
power.
He even said, "Remember it, my name." No, he didn't say that.
But his power is very similar. So
yeah, he had one trick left, and he can explode his entire body.
From his skeleton.
Right, and it worked because he did kill that Invincible, so it worked.
1 of 18.
Yeah.
It's like,
and then on the Guardian side,
it took all of him to kill 1 of 18.
Well, because also Darkwing killed one.
He at least took
one.
him away.
He trapped,
He trapped him in the shadow realm.
Right, which Darkwing basically sacrificed his life over at the Guardians of the Globe.
So in order to kill Invincible, you have to kill yourself, basically.
Well, that's what for Rex. A few of them did die.
Everybody.
A few of them did die because I think Powerplex killed an Invincible. I think that's what happened because they showed him next to like a dead body that was an invincible body or whatever.
Yeah, he was still blaming other Invincibles. This is all your fault.
Oh yeah, of course, because Angstrom.
So not all the Invincibles are the same strength.
No, that's one thing they did point out too.
Yeah.
That's what Cecil said. It's like one thing we noticed.
No, Donald said that.
Donald said it. That's right.
He said our Invincible is the strongest.
Right.
But he stopped fighting once Eve got hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so as soon as Eve was hurt, he was done.
I'm not fighting anymore.
Yep, he left. What was because Eve's her leg got broken?
Yeah, her leg got broken.
That's what happened.
Boo-hoo, man. Get your ass out there and help save some fucking lives.
Exactly.
Leg. Like, okay, calm down.
One broken leg. While you sitting up here hovering over one broken leg, 100 people just got killed because your dumb ass.
The entire planet is being destroyed because you worried about
thinking with your
penis.
Leg. Get out of here.
Right. Even Oliver went out and started fighting.
Right. It's like
he held his own too.
Yeah. Like, come on now.
Oliver's like, I got to get out there.
Mm-hmm.
I love his mom, man. I love the relationship. Yeah, it's like, look, don't fly. Okay, be safe. If you can't beat him, fly your ass right back here.
Because she was smart too. Because she went and stayed at her boyfriend's place.
Because of course, it kind of reminded me of Josh Journal movie. Like, can I go with Uncle Josh to save time?
Yeah,
did you do the dishes?
Yep, that's funny.
The only reason why this Invincible War stopped was because Angstrom gathered them all together.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
But he turned on them
together.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he had his plan, and he's manipulative,
What
and
was his plan?
I mean, like, he wanted to destroy the world, and he told them that he's going to give them something for it. You know, like give them to
Yeah.
their universes or get their,
Something like
like, a
that.
couple
Yeah.
people wanted their moms and because they didn't have them, and it's like, okay, I got you. Like, just trust me, and if you do if you just come here and destroy stuff, then I'll give you what you want. I can get you. And that's his promises that he's been using all the time to get people to do what they want. And so
Yeah.
when he did that, it showed that he's a liar, because they're like, wait a minute, like, we don't believe you. You're not doing it. And so they turned on him. They all turned on him. And he was like, well, let me correct the situation. He just put him back into the multiverse space that he died in.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. So they're stuck in the
Yeah, they're
desolate
stuck in that spot.
universe.
And so now that's the
Half
only
of them
reason.
probably gonna kill each other.
Yeah.
Pretty sure of it. Pretty sure.
After being stuck on that desolate planet. But yeah, so that's the
Very sure of
only
it.
reason why this war stopped.
Right. Yeah. Because this felt like, this is what I thought what was going to happen with the Viltrumites that they were planning since season one.
Right. That's what I thought.
They are all gonna come and
I
destroy.
didn't think it was all gonna be invincible. I thought it was
Right.
gonna be like
multiple
you know,
Viltrumites.
on some 730 shit.
But Angstrom kind of got on my nerves. I mean, obviously, Angstrom is probably the most annoying villain. I
Yeah,
mean,
what's
he
his
gets on my
motivation?
nerves because he just
Like, you can literally go to whatever multiverse you want to have whatever you want. Do it. Like, why you gotta go to Invincible and kill him so hard?
Right. Why are you hell bent on this Invincible? Because the whole point of Angstrom was that he got merged with all the other Angstroms, and then he went insane thinking that Invincible, because Invincible tried to save him, the good one. And so he thinks that, and so he's getting memories of the other evil Invincibles all in one. And so that's why he went after that Invincible. That's the whole reason. Now he's using those same Invincibles just to get this one Invincible. That's what
Which,
I'm
I mean,
like,
I get why he
Yeah.
would want to get him after he killed him. It's like,
right, of
that's
course.
makes sense. Like, okay, revenge. But at the same time, it's like, just go somewhere else. You know, it's like, you don't gotta prove nothing. Like, goodness, you alive.
What's gonna
like,
take the least amount of effort for you, sir? Just start over.
yeah, use
Because
that big
Angstrom
brain.
started off as a good guy.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
So now
Right.
he's a complete villain and wants to, and allowing all these people to die. He was all about saving people.
He was pretty annoying. Didn't he end up getting away?
Well, yeah, he went back to the place that basically tried to rebuild him because he got hurt more.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
Well, he fights. So he fights Invincible.
Yeah.
And Invincible's able to dodge all his
he figured it out
attacks
because
this
he's been
time.
practicing.
Right. And then he has him, and he's about to kill him. And then Oliver shows up. He's like, "Kill him!
Yeah.
Kill him!"
Yeah.
And I have no idea if Invincible was going to kill him or not. Honestly.
And then the portal closed, and he took his arm with him or something.
Right.
Yeah.
But he's
And then
already beat up.
those surgeon people turned on him though.
Yeah, because he
'cause
lied.
Right,
Yeah.
because that's what he does. He keeps
He was
lying to
like,
people.
y'all didn't, like, we ain't, like,
You didn't
fix
hold
me,
your
fix
end
me,
of the
fix
bargain.
me.
Right.
He's like, we ain't gonna fix you. What? We ain't gonna fix you. You said you was gonna do stuff for us and you ain't. So
Right.
we gonna fix you only if you serve us and be our slave forever.
Right.
That's the deal. So
And so after that,
he made
the
that deal.
world
Now
has
he's
to
a
rebuild.
slave.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so now the world has to rebuild, and we got to get together. And
So-
Cecil was like, we got to reform the Guardians of the Globe, and
I want you to lead her.
I want
I
you to
want
lead.
you to be the leader.
And he's like, no, but he's like, but hey, what happened to Rex?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, what happened to Rex? And what did Robot said something? What did Robot say,
What did he
Marcus?
say?
He died.
Oh, goodness. So funny.
Josh pointed that out that
that
they
how
had
he
a
said it?
teenage zombie moment.
Is that how he did it?
That's how it happened.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's like what happened to Rex?
Oh my goodness.
He died.
Let me watch
Because
that.
Robot
He
said
really
it.
said that. He really said that. So they're gonna. It's like, all right, now it's time to rebuild the world. We, this sucks, and we're still finding bodies and stuff. We got to
Yeah.
get together. And then a Viltrumite shows up.
A big ass Viltrumite.
Right.
Like, what the fuck, man?
They in the
Give us a
process
few
of rebuilding,
months.
but we do have one more episode. So that's the thing. It was like, oh wait, this wasn't the season finale. So, because I was
A
thinking,
big
I thought
ass
that we were going to
Viltrumite.
see Omni-Man come back, season
with
finale.
Alan the alien.
Yeah, and they were like, okay, let's take
They were
over. We're
gonna
gonna
start
do this
beating
thing.
ass.
Right. But that doesn't happen. Spoiler alert. Negan shows up for his revenge on Glenn. Revenge on Glenn.
Right. Why would he need revenge?
Right. Yeah, he killed Glenn. So it's
like, oh my
Glenn is
goodness.
angry at Negan this time for
Yeah.
killing him in another dimension.
Right. Negan felt guilty for killing Glenn, decided to get revenge on him for making him feel guilty for killing him.
Yep. But no, it's definitely a what you said, Josh, a rematch, right?
Rematch. Yes, it's a rematch between Glenn and Negan.
Yeah. So if you haven't watched Walking Dead, that's the characters. That's when I stopped watching.
Don't watch it.
Oh goodness. So Marcus is serious.
So yeah, episode 8's called "I Thought You'd Never Shut Up." So yeah, it's clearly Jeffrey Dean Morgan doing the voice of this guy. Marcus is the one who told me. If he never told me, if I was just listening, I would definitely heard it because you can tell Jeffrey Dean Morgan's voice.
Oh yeah.
He kind of got that twang in his voice,
Yeah.
And he talks a lot. Every character he plays,
He just loves
talks
to hear
a lot.
himself talk. Right.
Yeah.
Right. He loves monologuing. So yeah, this guy's name is Conquest, and he is huge.
And I'm like, what's worse than 18 Invincibles? Conquest.
His name.
Wow. I'm like,
This is the strongest Viltrumite yet.
My goodness.
Like, if you thought Nolan was bad and you thought that girl was bad, this guy.
And he don't care.
Right.
He don't.
As a matter of fact,
care.
he enjoys destroying shit.
Yes.
Right.
And making people's lives end.
He don't have no like he wants to destroy everything, and he wants to make it as crazy as possible. Suffering to the max.
Yep.
So there's a scene where he's kind of it's almost like a redo of the train.
Yeah, that was kind of cheap to me. I was like, as that was going on, I was like, you did that already. But
yeah,
right before that, I died laughing.
What made you
Josh, the moment that they showed all them happy people on the beach, I bust out laugh. I laughed out loud to myself.
First of all, I was like,
I thought about you
stupid.
Immediately.
I was like, these people are
Josh
stupid. I'm like, the Invincible War just happened last week.
Why are y'all at the beach?
Are y'all enjoying yourselves at the beach?
They're trying to rebuild. Like they dealt with the Invincible War, and now it's like, hey y'all, it's a nice day outside. It's like the
Jason,
it's like the calm.
We
after
had the
pandemic.
We had the pandemic. I ain't go outside for 2 years.
Right, and when 9/11 happened,
go outsid.
When 9/11 happened,
don't go outside.
People enjoyed themselves.
What you talking about?
After you have a big disaster, people are just like, all right, well, let's go have fun at the beach.
Man, when they showed that still shot of everybody having a good time at the beach, I almost had to pause it because I just started laughing so hard.
You knew it was going to happen.
Like, you knew it was about to happen. It was like,
you know it's going to happen.
But then when they redid the train thing, like where he was kind of holding him flying through people, I'm like, yeah.
But they didn't have to do that.
Their whole faces and bodies is falling apart, and blood and guts just everywhere.
It's almost desensitizing at this point, kind of thing.
And that's what I noticed. That was the word that came to mind. I'm like, am I desensitized to just violent destruction there?
Blood,
because we're not seeing these people's lives; they're just cattle for slaughter.
Yeah,
right.
That's all they are.
But that's true. So maybe we'll see a survivor.
Another villain will pop up from this.
Yeah, another survivor from that will come up from the thing.
Like that little boy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, yeah, they showed a kid.
They did show the kid.
Well, it was a kid who he lost his arm.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
holding his dad's arm or
Mhm.
something like that.
That was yeah, they showed that.
So that
Man.
kid could come back later.
Yeah, it can.
Yeah. And speaking of kid, did y'all think Conquest was gonna
I thought he was
break
going to rip
Oliver?
I thought he was
Yeah, I
going
was
to
like,
rip
look, nobody's
Oliver
Is
safe
he
on
gonna
this.
kill
half.
Oliver right now?
I thought,
We're gonna see him
I
rip
literally
up.
thought, I was thinking like maybe he's got some insect powers that we don't know about that he can grow
Yeah.
back, you know. But I'm
Right,
like,
right.
but still, I thought he was gonna rip him. So, because he was ripping the baby, Poe baby.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what was gonna happen with Oliver, but part of me was like, I think Oliver's gonna survive this. But with Eve, I was like, oh, she's dead.
Oh yeah,
That's what I thought.
She was
I was
definitely
like,
She's
dead. I'm like,
died.
she's fucking toast.
She died. She absolutely died. Like I'm like,
How did
okay.
she die?
So like
Josh.
I'm watching this show. I'm watching this episode. Like I watched most of the episodes I've watched while I'm jump roping. And so I'm
Jason's
watching
very
this.
healthy, everybody.
I'm trying to be. And but I'm like, what? I just like as soon as she got on the screen and she was like, I gotta fight him. And I'm like, this fight scene, I'm like, he's too powerful. Like, how is she gonna stop him? You know, I'm like, stay home. And the thing is, when she's there, Mark is only gonna be saying, go home, go home, go home. I don't gotta take this. I'm going home.
Right.
So she's like, but you know, she's got to do that. Like, so and that's what happened. Like, he's like, what are you doing? Why are you here? So he's distracted. And so they're fighting, but she's able to slow him down a little bit because she's super, like,
right. All she could do is slow him down.
Yeah, all she could do is put them pink things on and slow him down. He was breaking through that shit like nothing.
Piece of glass,
Mark breaks his leg because Conquest breaks Mark's leg.
He breaks his femur, which is the hardest bone in the body to break.
Thigh bone, like it's just
That's the number one hardest bone
sticking
out
of his. Is sticking out of his thigh, like just pieces of bone and flesh, just like, oh my goodness. So yeah, and he's just laughing the whole time, like ha ha ha. I'm doing all this stuff
and talking a lot because he's
beating his face every now and then, and you know, you can do more. This is it. Use your anger. Ha ha ha. Like,
that might be a little bit of a challenge.
Yeah.
Oh, you made me bleed a little bit.
Yep.
Right.
He's unstoppable.
Yeah, he reminds me of a Baki character.
But yeah, once he busts through all of Eve's armor, I was like, oh no, she's not going to survive this.
Nope.
And of course, he punches her face so badly, her teeth, like her face is disfigured.
Yep.
Her jaw comes apart.
Yeah, her jaw is complete. Yeah, her jaw, and I was like, oh, she can't come back from that.
Like her jaw is broken off. Like
yes, I was like, oh my god.
Yep.
And then he stuck his hand through her.
Yep.
And I'm just like, well, yes.
I ain't gonna lie, that was a dope shot though.
It was way they did
dope. That still shot.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, yeah, got to point out this episode was animated. They animated
they animated this completely differently. Because there's very loose looking animation on some of it to convey emotion, like during some of that street fight with between Invincible and Conquest. There's a lot of what do you call it? Foreshortening and stuff like this kind of angle, you know what I mean? And like a lot of quick movement, loose movement, and then some like very high frame rate animation to where it's way more fluid looking. I don't notice that it's almost like a whole different animation team on certain scenes.
I think so.
Yeah,
it does feel like that
because it was like a whole different drawing style.
They definitely have cheaper animation the first part of the season, like the first 5 episodes of the season. But for this one, they definitely was like, "Oh, we're going
all out on that
money on this one."
Mm-hmm. Tyler Perry
so Eve dies
down on that.
Yeah, so Eve dies and Mark loses it.
Oh yeah, because she's in pieces on the ground.
Which is kind of funny that what Conquest says is, just because you got angry don't mean you're going to get more powerful.
That's hilarious.
Because I did feel like it was getting a little Dragon Ball Z type with this fight.
Yeah, and he fights him.
Yeah, but Mark punches through Conquest's
metal arm.
Yeah.
Breaks his hand in the process.
Break his own arm.
Mm-hmm.
And he has both of his hands are broken.
which is definitely Dragon
Well,
Ball
so
Z.
he broke one of his arm. He he broke one of his fists when he punched his mechanical fist and broke
Yeah,
his mechanical fist.
right.
Conquest mechanical fist.
Mm-hmm.
Then when they were fighting later, the way he broke the way Invincible's left arm got broken was he was going for a punch and the dude caught it and then he just basically just crushed that arm, just
Mm-hmm.
broke it.
Yep.
So now he got two broken arms and a broken femur bone.
Yep.
Yeah, but then Eve wakes up and like rebirths, restarts or something.
Yep.
Yeah, something crazy happens.
Yeah, she's like naked and everything, and just like,
Oh yeah, that's right. He only has one broken arm at this point. Eve pulls
yeah,
a phoenix, comes
yes,
back
that's
to
what it was.
life.
She
Her
pulls a
whole
phoenix. That's what it is.
she's looks like she
Completely
never
new.
even got hit.
Not even a scratch.
Yeah.
She to her whole she's in her
completely
whole
body is
complete
completely healed.
naked fineness. And then
Completely regenerated.
when she did that, an energy blast came off of her, and it like fried Conquest
skin off, yeah.
You
It's
see
like,
muscle.
yeah, it
Yeah,
burned
his
all
whole
his skin
skin
off, which
burnt
is
off.
very that for some reason that's very Baki too. But then they start fighting again. Him and Invincible start fighting again.
Yeah, because Conquest can't die, basically.
No, he can't.
And then that's when
And-
he broke his left hand.
So, what does Invincible do? He uses his head.
Gotta use his head.
Use your head.
Well, because he was still talking shit. He was talking so much shit the whole fight.
Yeah, he really was.
Mm-hmm.
And then Mark thought.
Think, Mark. Think.
Yeah,
Josh, I've been saying it for the last 5 minutes.
So he basically headbutted him to death.
Yeah, he
he kept going. He just lost it.
until his
Which-
head was mush, which is very similar to the last. episode.
Exactly what he did with Engstrom.
Yeah,
Right.
Except he didn't feel bad.
It's
this
like that's
time.
his finishing
No,
move.
and we didn't. I mean, I was like, because I'm watching this whole thing when he's killing the entire everybody. The way he did Oliver, the way he was killing innocent people, just like I'm like, how is this dude gonna get what he deserves?
Right.
Because I'm
Right,
just
of
waiting
course.
for justice.
And then it's like, here it
course.
goes.
yeah, and he did it. And I'm like, yes. So
Yeah.
this is definitely an interesting thing it does to your emotions.
Yeah, because you're like, how is he supposed to beat this guy?
Yeah,
Right. It was, but it did take the teamwork of Invincible and Eve.
yeah.
And Eve had to power up for this to
Mhm.
happen.
She slowed him
So-
down a little bit.
Yeah. She burnt his skin off.
Yeah, burnt his skin off.
So, yeah, that's
So
pretty
Eve is pretty powerful.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
she regenerated her entire
And then
body.
she basically explains, like later on, like, look, this just what you be seeing is just a fraction of my power, and the rest of my power literally gets unleashed, but is
Only when she about to die.
only when it's like a traumatic kind of
Yeah.
situation where it's like something that's like
life
jolting,
or death. Yeah.
right, and it sparks it within me,
So
Mhm.
she really is like Jean Grey.
Yep.
right.
That's crazy. So,
The end.
yeah, well, of course, yeah, they're gonna have to rebuild. That's so much death.
I mean, this is after the Invincible War, and not telling they flew all over the planet too. So like,
Right, when they were fighting.
Conquest
I-
and Invincible didn't stay in one city; they just flew all over the planet as well.
I'd be trying to get off Earth at this point.
I mean, that's the point.
Time to
It's
leave
like, okay, yeah, y'all, like let's figure
like we
this
know
out.
there's alien life out here. We
Yeah,
need someone. We
let's
need
find
to
another
get off
planet.
this planet. Yeah,
You
to
know?
live on.
Shoot, it's like
For
this
real.
is too much because it's a lot.
So, Invincible tells Cecil, "Burn this body."
Yeah, he's like, you got his body here, like burn it.
Yeah, because when he wakes
He's
up,
like,
he's
we
like,
need to get
is he
rid
dead?
of
It's
him.
like, where's Conquest? He's like, dead.
That's the first thing he asks when he
Where
wakes up.
is
Where's
he?
Conquest?
I need to see his body because it's not the
Right.
first time that
Mhm.
he killed somebody and they weren't dead.
Right, right. This is Viltrumite. Viltrumites are the strongest in the
Yeah,
universe.
so he's like,
Right.
where's
So,
his body?
yeah.
So that's the thing. It's like, and he's like, he sees him. He's like, oh yeah, he's dead. Okay, burn
So
it.
you definitely see a difference in between with Invincible dealing with Anstrom versus Conquest because they're
Yeah,
very similar.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like that's why it's like he felt bad with Angstrom, but then
Mm-hmm.
Angstrom came back and made things
Mm-hmm.
worse. And so now he in his mind with Conquest, like I said, he don't feel guilty.
Right.
It's like, no, this guy needs to fucking die.
Yep.
So it's way different than it was with Angstrom.
Yeah.
So but Cecil does
What does
something
he do?
stupid.
What does he do,
Because
Josh?
even what you call asked him, he's like, "You
Donald,
don't think
yeah.
this is a dumb idea?"
Mm-hmm.
And Cecil's like, "Shut up, Donald. I know it. I know more than you do." And so he has Conquest's body in this big machine type thing, keeping him alive. It seems like when he wakes up, we're gonna ask him about the Viltrumites.
Well,
What?
he's not necessarily keeping him alive on purpose. He basically has his body in that big
Yeah,
ass
yeah, that's what I meant.
brick
Yeah.
thing, and he's like, if he wakes up, it's gonna cause the system to like
If he tries to leave, yeah, that's
yeah,
what it
yeah. It
is.
said like if he moves, something's gonna happen,
It's
and
gonna
like
blow up.
yeah, something like that. And he's like, if he wakes up, we gonna get him to talk about Viltrumite or whatever,
Which was stupid because it's like you already know about the
Right.
Viltrumites. Omni Man said stuff already.
You knew Omni
And
Man, fool.
right,
What
and
you mean?
Alan said stuff when he came to Earth. He told
Right.
Invincible stuff, so they should know stuff already. What more?
Mm-hmm.
What more do you need to know about the Viltrumites?
Right.
That's why it's so stupid. They're coming to Earth. That's all, and they're fucking strong. Why are you keeping one of them alive?
Mm.
So that wasn't smart. And if you guys noticed that guy, that professor, that doctor guy or whatever that
That
brings
makes
people,
people out of dead people.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're I don't know if you noticed, he's using dead invincible bodies.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
I didn't notice.
Yeah, so of course that's behind Cecil instead of keeping those bodies dead. I don't know if that's smart or not though.
Yeah.
Using those dead invincible bodies, like I don't know, because they're they're not in control of their minds anymore. So and they're strong, so that could be a good thing, but that's why it's a weird situation. It's like, is Cecil right or not? Like, I think Cecil and Mark are both right and wrong at the
Both
same
wrong.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's both.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
then they have a funeral for Rex, and Rudy decides to call him. He's like, "Call me Rex from now on."
I look
What?
like him anyway.
Yeah.
Right, I got his body anyway, so it's so weird.
Yeah,
It
that was
kinda
weird. I was like,
That was kind of
okay.
weird. I was like, why? I'm not gonna call you Rex. I don't care. You're a robot.
I know.
Wasn't even calling you Rudy in the first place, so I'm gonna call you robot. It's like this is robot without the body, without the armor. This is robot.
Oh yeah, the
human strength.
Immortal quits the team again, along with Kate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the season, man. Full season. You
Yeah.
say you got some Easter eggs, so we talk about them.
No, that's leftover. But if y'all found any Easter
No, I
eggs,
don't know
Ain't got
any
no
Easter eggs.
I don't
Yeah.
know
We
him
know-
that well.
We know Marcus's rating.
Oh yeah. Neck bleed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of necks bled
Literally.
in this.
Mm-hmm. They did.
I don't know if I'm gonna go that far up. Even though I really enjoyed this season, it's the very, very, very high sequel though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very high sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready for it. I mean, it's definitely the same. High sequel for me. I mean, it kept me on the edge of my seat every episode. Definitely wanted more. So keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like, how we said some other shows should be ending. We definitely mentioned that. Like these other shows should definitely be coming to an end.
Yeah.
I don't want next season to be the last season.
Well, see, I kind of feel like I don't know. I mean,
Maybe
if they
two
did
more seasons.
Yeah, maybe 2 more seasons,
Yeah, I
but
don't think they. I don't know if they can finish.
I don't know if they could wrap it up in one more season.
because it's like you only get 8 episodes in a season, maybe
Yeah.
Right.
10. So it's like I don't think they
Yeah.
can get everything done in 8 episodes.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. They had the Invincible War and him fighting
in
Conquest
2 episodes,
back to back. That was
they
a
did
lot
do
that
that.
happened.
They did do that.
That was a
So
lot.
they could find a way to wrap it up in the 4th season.
Because what I did like about the last episode is that they went right into the Invincible logo. And
Right. They didn't waste
it
time.
started right at that punch that the 7th episode ended off of when they
Yep.
first started fighting.
Yeah, so they ain't waste
Yeah.
no time, and it
Yeah,
took
they
you through the
because
whole
they
thing.
used the whole time slot
Every
to tell the
second.
whole story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
every second of this you needed. No wasted space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
There's no filler episodes with this.
No.
Nope. No, I feel like
filler.
2 had a lot of filler episodes.
Yeah, there's
but,
no filler
this season-
scenes.
This
like-
season
I
didn't
feel like
have any
episode
filler.
1 was a little bit of a filler, only because it was just episode 1 had
It
to
just
show
set
you
up the
what,
tone. Right.
Set
yeah,
up.
Set up
It was
the
a
because
setup.
it had
setup.
been gone. Because it's been almost a year between seasons,
Yeah.
Okay.
just for the fact that Oliver's bigger now and stuff. So
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, I already said my favorite.
yeah, you already
characters.
said your favorite characters. What about you, Jason?
I mean,
And Rex is number 3.
Rex is OG for this season.
Yeah. Rex is probably MVP of the season.
Yeah,
in my
he's
opinion.
definitely MVP. Yeah, man. I was trying to think about the people that weren't as annoying. Villains were annoying. I didn't mind the Tombstone character.
Titan.
Titan. I think he was pretty cool.
Titan was cool.
Like actually, he was the most interesting like non-main character that I enjoyed just because of his motivation, his family, his focus, and the way that he used the system for his advantage. And so he was, and he won. Like he got what he needed and won. And it's like, and no one has to do it. So I think he's definitely good. And yeah, honestly, Donald is a ride or die. I like him a lot.
I do too.
Of course, it's your best friend.
I mean, Donald is my best friend.
Like,
Shout
who's
out.
your favorite character?
I wish they showed Donald fighting because they never showed
Yeah,
him fight.
they
He just
talked
said,
about it though.
Right, they just talked about it, and then you see his body all
Right,
half
it's
done, and that's
like-
it. Like I want to see him fight an Invincible. That would be interesting.
Yeah. So
That's
but
what I
mean,
thought they were going to show us.
I was hoping they show
during the
that.
Invincible War. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Too bad they didn't show your favorite superhero, Jason.
Oh yeah, Spawn. You said that was on the Invincible War.
Yes. So in the comics, Spawn is in the Invincible War. He helps fight in the Invincible War.
That's pretty cool.
Too bad they didn't show that.
That would have been cool to see. They could have showed it though.
They didn't have the rights to Spawn. That's
Why don't
why.
we have it's an Image Comics? Who knows?
I know. I don't know. They just couldn't get the rights.
McFarlane
for
didn't
him.
sign it off.
I don't know. Maybe it's more to it. So you said your favorites was Donald and
Yeah, I mean, I liked Invincible too when he wasn't annoying.
I disagree.
I didn't like Invincible that much on this season.
Yeah, me either. He was getting on my nerves this
I
season.
said when he
honestly.
wasn't annoying.
So
He
you
was
liked
annoying
them
a lot.
last season.
Yeah, when he wasn't
He
annoying.
was
I mean,
annoying
honestly,
through most of the
okay.
season, man.
as much as I didn't like him, the most Conquest was so interesting. So
I did like
he's
Conquest.
like-
I ain't gonna lie,
he's
but
like-
it's because it's Jeffrey Dean Morgan,
which
though.
is
You
like, I
can't,
mean, that's
you know.
Negan. That's him.
I
Like,
did not like Conquest. I wanted him to die. I'm like, no, he gotta die now.
Definitely wanted him to
I mean,
die.
yeah, I definitely wanted him to die, but just him talking, just because
But
Jeffrey
he's
Dean
so
Morgan,
interesting.
he's such a good villain. Just the way
So,
he's
yeah.
talking and stuff, it's like. But he wasn't my favorite. I have to, of course, like I said, Rex is MVP.
Yeah, Rex
you know,
is-
I definitely got to go with Rex. I'm gonna miss him for next season.
I didn't,
Um,
yeah. I was really hoping that they would figure out a way to, go back
Bring
in
him back.
time or something.
I
was
know,
like,
I
he's
know.
not
He's
really
just
dead.
gone. He's
'Cause
just
after
gone.
all that happens, I'm like,
I
man,
know.
I
He
was like,
had his
come on now,
character
time
arc. He's
travel.
done, dude. He's done.
It's like, goodness.
That's it for Rex. But we have Alan. Alan's my favorite,
Yeah. Alan
other
is-
than Rex.
Yeah, that's
Yes, Alan. I hope they don't kill him off. He is a
How
great,
they
great,
can't
great
kill
character.
him off now. He can't die.
I know. Alan might be the strongest character in the show.
I think
Might
he
be.
is because he's stronger than Viltrumites.
Right.
So yeah.
So yeah, Alan might be my favorite
I forgot
character
about
other than
Worf.
Rex.
Yeah, I definitely like Worf.
Well,
Like all the
Battle
characters.
Beast. Yeah,
Battle
yeah. I was
Beast,
gonna say. I was wondering why you didn't say Battle Beast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's Marcus's character, but I loved him. So, and they spoiler. They did show him at the very end, like
Yes.
he was
Yeah, we
frozen.
didn't mention that. Yes,
And which
yeah.
means he won that fight.
Yeah,
yes,
he's
against
alive.
that
he won
Viltrumite.
fight.
Yes.
He was satisfied. he was just sitting there in space, all
And
satisfied.
and so these aliens got him, and he wakes up and he says one word.
More.
Oh man.
He says more. I can't wait to see his ass again.
Mhm.
Yeah, I love Battle B. He was just sitting there all satisfied in space, just with it was just a debris of Viltrumite body parts around him.
Right. And him just.
So all right. So before we wrap up, who would we rank as the strongest characters in the show, like the top 5 strongest characters in the entire show?
I would
as of
probably
right now.
say Battle Beast, Alan the Alien, Omni-Man,
Conquest.
Invincible, Conquest, because Invincible beat Conquest.
Yeah, but Invincible beat
Conquest was
Conquest
still
because
stronger.
of,
Yeah.
I say Conquest
So
is stronger
Conquest
than
then
Invincible.
Invincible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think Battle Beast?
Wait.
Alan is the strongest.
You think Battle Beast? You think Alan will Battle Beast ass?
Yeah, I think Alan can beat.
I kind of think
Beast.
that too. I think Alan's the strongest in the.
But I think
show.
Battle Beast.
So
is next.
fuck y'all.
Yeah, and I
Alan
think Battle Beast is
at
next.
the top. Battle Beast.
I would say Conquest is next.
Conquest.
Then Omni-Man. Then
Omni-Man. Invincible.
That's what I would say.
I agree with that.
Mm-hmm. Rexplode.
Yeah. R.I.P.
You know what I'm saying?
So, all right, Alan.
No. But real talk though, right up under Mark is Oliver.
I mean,
Because he's
honestly,
strong than a motherfucker. He was taking
But-
hits. He was taking hits from fucking from the grown ass Conquest.
Yeah,
And
he
he a little
was.
ass kid.
that's
Conquest
right,
was
right.
pulling on his body about to
And he
rip
still
him
didn't
apart.
break.
But he still
Right.
didn't necessarily
He
break.
didn't
Now that was kind of by choice of Conquest. He
Mhm.
could have killed him.
Yeah,
But
he was doing it.
Alan bounced right back after that shit.
Oliver.
I mean, yeah, Oliver. Yeah, Oliver bounced right back.
But I
after
think
that shit.
Eve is pretty strong though too. Like she didn't die.
Eve is pretty. I mean, Eve
Yeah.
She's very
regenerated her
powerful.
whole body.
That's what it is.
Right.
She's
Yeah.
very powerful.
Right. She doesn't have brute strength, but she's very powerful.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, if we went by power. So Alan, Battle Beast, Conquest, Omni-Man, Invincible. Yeah, I agree with
That's
that.
top 5.
Because I think Battle Beast could still whoop Conquest's ass.
I think so too. I would love to see that fight.
That's who. Right. That's who he want to fight.
Worthy.
Oh,
Promise me a worthy opponent.
'Cause,
Because
I guess
those
we
other
gotta keep-
Viltrumites weren't worthy opponents. He killed them.
Exactly.
He ripped them apart. They were
I guess
in
that's
the
the good
pieces.
thing about keeping Conquest alive, because we'll see him again.
Yeah.
We couldn't
He
just
is an
have him for
interesting
one
character.
episode and that's it. So
That's all we had. So we want to see him again because he's
Yeah.
evilly interesting.
Eve.
right. But yeah, I do want to see for next season. I want to see Alan and Omni-Man come to Earth or something, or just this, Viltrumite fight or something, or I don't know how this is going to happen. We'll see though.
Yeah,
I
we'll
know.
see. Hopefully, we won't have
Alright.
to wait too long.
Yeah, they're trying to do it every year, so it's going to be back in February. They're trying to do that.
Okay.
All right. So let's tell people where to follow you guys at, starting with you, Marcus.
Follow me everywhere as 730, spelled with the number 7 EVENTHIRTY. Just like that.
Hey.
That may be backwards, but
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
okay, yeah, you can follow me on all the music streaming platforms, all the social media platforms that I use and occupy. And stay tuned for new music coming pretty soon, 2025. So
That's what's up.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
All right, Jason.
You can find me at smileyjason_ on Instagram. And then if you want to follow my nostalgia page, I have a TikTok Y2K Chronicles. So I just post some stuff about the past in that era.
Hip stuff about the past.
Mm-hmm.
And you can follow me as Prop Josh. I don't be doing nothing. I got nothing going on. So
There, just if you want to be bored, follow Prop
if you want to be
Josh.
bored, now I appear on a podcast. I'm interviewed on. Shout out to the Just Acting Up show. So catch me being interviewed on there, and I do a couple
Nice.
of videos that piss some Brazilians off, but that's another story.
Yeah, Josh got YouTube beef, y'all.
Yeah, we'll talk
Follow
about that next time.
Prop Josh parodies, man.
Mm-hmm. Read the YouTube comments.
Prop Josh
Productions.
originals.
Yeah, Prop Josh
Just
original.
Prop
Okay.
Josh. Just look up Prop Josh.
Yeah, just look up Prop Josh, man.
All right. Any final thoughts?
Nah, man, can't wait till next Black History Month.
Yes. Yes,
If we have a Black History Month next
We
year.
will always
Oh, let's go.
We always will have a
good night.
yeah.